get that?
Just a moment here on FX.
Brown, and I think they've been having a little problem with that car being loose.
It looks like he was going to move up a little bit, maybe to go around the 97 car, Kurt Busch. Got up there out of the groove a little bit. Again, this is the most mark-sensitive, hit-your-marks, line-sensitive racetrack we go to. And it's like you had the wheels cut up there out of the groove and it come around on it.
Yep, bring her back in and make some changes to that bad boy.
And no contact between he and Kurt Busch. There's Busch's number 97.
He was going to put his autograph on there if it got any closer. That's a great, he's a good sponsor, but you know, like I told you yesterday, there's not a driver down there. Not many people walk around in Winston Cup that don't have a Sharpie in their pocket.
You know what those were invented for?
No, not
because
really.
they're permanent markers. Marking your clothes before you send them to the laundry. Oh, really? Put a name on it so you get your stuff
so
back.
When I got a shirt back, it had somebody else's name in it. That meant that it really wasn't. I just thought it was the guy that cleaned it.
No, that's how they first came out.
We've been talking all year about putting tape on the front end. If you notice on the front of Kurt Busch's car, there was only one strip of tape. Going to be 80-something degrees here tomorrow. They've got to cool the radiator with the top and bottom open. Plus those openings at the bottom on the sides, that's the brake duct cooling. No tape on those. You've got to pump as much air as you can in through hoses to cool those brakes. That's probably the most important openings on the front end of the car.
Yeah, and those and these NACA ducts that are on the sides of the side windows on the quarter windows. See those little NACA ducts right there? Those are pumping air in there too to the rear end and probably to the rear brakes.
And the reason we call them that, they actually come, I think, from something through NASA. And they flow good air without creating a bunch of drag. And actually, we've learned to use them in the form that they can actually help downforce in the car.
How much of a factor is heat at Martinsville? Let's ask Steve.
We got a spin in turn 3 and 4. Andy Houston. And that'll bring out the first caution of the day.
And a bunch of people are going, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Spun out, didn't hurt anything, and got a caution.
Michael Waltrip and Terry Labonte stayed on the lead lap. I don't believe Ward Burton was able to beat Wallace back to the line.
No, I don't think he did. That saved a bunch of guys from going a lap down.
Lap 40 is our first caution. Let's have another look here.
He just got around. I think he ran in there and he thought he was going to get into the back of Johnny Benson, and he probably got on the brakes a little too hard and locked them up.
All right, 40 laps on these tires.
I believe I'm going to stay out.
40 laps, I'm going to stay out. It's a good time to find out am I going to be able to do this or not.
So we'll be back and find out which of the leaders stay on the racetrack and which pit when we come back to Martinsville on Fox.
Get that lap back because Jeremy's not holding
Big
up.
pile up at turn 2, Darrell, and it started again 10 cars in front of Kenny Wallace, who wrecked. Kevin Harvick got a bit loose and it all accordion behind him.
And Rusty let Jeremy by just at the right time.
Oh, Kenny.
Big damage.
You see that the right front tire is really towed out. He's broke a tie rod on that thing. The tie rod which connects the spindle to the drag length, I'm sure that's broke. That's the reason the tire's out there and won't turn back in.
43's got smoke coming off of him, too. He must have gotten into something. Oh, yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he got into that 14, or the 14 got into him.
And there's Steve Park with the
he's got all kind of damage.
Yep. Well, let's see. Watch it. Here's Harvick. This is how it all starts way up here.
Yep.
Brett Bodine, the 11 car, he was down there. Harvick come down on him right there and started this chain reaction behind these guys.
And look at way back behind them.
Everybody just starts bumping into the back of each other, nowhere to go. Jimmy Spencer gets into the side of Kenny Wallace, sends him in the outside wall.
And the leaders are on pit road. Let's give a listen. Steve Park's car might have been dragging there after they complete this 4-tire change, and it looks like the official is holding Park.
I think he came in too fast, but man, he's got a lot of damage over here, and that right front was, the wheel was bent up. He got into something really, really hard. Let's see if we can look around here and see what happened. Here's Andretti. He's got damage. Got a lot of beat-up race cars here from that incident.
And let's see if here's where John Andretti got that damage.
Here's the one in the 43 back here. Coming down. Oh, they're all checking up because of what happened up there in turn 2. Here they come. 43's got a lot of damage. Now Andretti is pretty well convinced that that was all Ron Hornaday's fault, and kind of let him know about it. So that little skirmish cost us quite a bit of damage on several race cars.
Let's go to Matt.
And he can get up there on the start of the, on some of these restarts and get a lap back.
Now there goes.
Look at this, 3 wide. Whoops.
Harvick.
You don't do that here.
He did.
These are just young guys, you know.
Michael Waltrip, the Napa onboard camera.
And he really doesn't have anywhere to go. You just got to follow along.
Rooting and gouging and let me through there.
If you'll just stick with this in a minute, Robert Presley will send Harvick a little message right down here.
Rusty Wallace spins coming out of turn 2. No caution.
And he's going. I mean, he just spun it around, did a 360, and here he comes. Somebody got into the back of him, looks like.
Well, we've seen spin to win here before.
Somebody got in the back, see all that damage there, and I think his left rear tire might be hurt. Let's see if we can see that left rear tire. It looked like it was. No, it's okay.
And the problem would be, Darrell, if he flat spotted those tires, which means did he ever lock them up while he was spinning?
Here he comes. Oh, he got into the back of Jared, and then Burton got into the back of him.
We see this all the time here.
Yeah.
It just stacks up as it goes back through the field when somebody checks up or gets back to the gas soon.
Rusty is really, really kind of hyper kind of a driver. He's real aggressive, and he's not real patient.
But Darrell, he caught a gear and just kept on going. That car never completely stopped.
But he is real smart.
Dick Berger.
Robin Pemberton, Rusty Wallace crew chief, has just called him in and said that everything is fine. He's trying to assure his driver. Meanwhile, they have a new spotter that started last week, Earl Farman. He is doing the same. They are just trying to tell Rusty, don't worry, it's early on, no big deal. So what? We spun out. This race has been won before by a guy who spun. Fellow's name is Jeff Gordon. Mike?
Jeremy up high in turn 3 and 4 down here. I don't know what happened to him. I think he's got another tire down, actually. Pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right front, yeah. Now, that can be from a number of things, but I believe it might be from excessive brake heat that he keeps having trouble with that right front. That's the second right front he's had to go down on him. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
And, you know, a lot of times we'll blame right front tire problems on too much camber, leaned in at the top too much. But this is one place you can get by with a pretty aggressive camber number, as much as 6 degrees in the right front. We got trouble.
Michael Waltrip.
That started off at turn 2. Michael got into Spencer. Spencer drove it down in under him going into turn 3. Turned him around.
Lap 94. It's our 3rd caution of the day. Second one involving Jimmy Spencer. He's had a lot of success in the modifieds here. Let's watch the Napa onboard.
This happens way over here coming off turn 2. Michael got into Jimmy a little bit, and then Jimmy just drove it down in under him and said, thank you very much. That's the thing about here. A lot of racetracks, you got to restrain yourself. Here, NASCAR's got to restrain you.
Jeremy Mayfield's right front tire changed along with the rest of them.
And Matt Kenseth, who was leading this race, remember, he's got 91 laps on his tires. He's in the pits, Dick Berger. Yeah, they probably thought a lot of other people were going to follow them down pit road, but at least the number 32 car has come down pit road. Craven, who is running in second spot behind them. It's going to be 4 tires for Matt Kenseth. Crew having a relatively slow stop, but with this many cars, I should say this few cars on pit road, it's not a big deal. And he takes off with no one passing him. Mike?
Ken Schrader also stopping, and now Kevin Harvick, Bill Elliott on pit road, along with Jimmy Spencer, Buckshot Jones, Sterling Marlin, Kyle Petty, and the 4 car of Kevin LePage. So we're under caution for the 3rd time at the short track of Martinsville, Virginia. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Too hard, or you race people down in there and push them into the curb. Here we go. Trouble, turn 2. Lots of cars, lots of cars.
Waltrip, Schrader, Kyle Petty, Buckshot Jones, and I think Harvick got the worst of it.
Yeah, Harvick's car is really damaged.
4th caution of the day at lap 112.
He has busted the radiator here. They'll have a lot of work to do here. You see the water running out of it. You see the steam. The biggest thing they'll have to do there is get all the sheet metal cut away and replace that radiator.
I think Waltrip was the first car to go around, but not sure who he might have had help from.
I know Kenny Schrader's car, his car is torn up pretty badly, and
yeah, it's only got 1 M left.
Yeah, short an M.
Here we go.
Looks like Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, gets into Michael in the 15 car. Nowhere for Schrader, Kyle Petty, Harvick, Buckshot Jones in the 44. Nowhere for those cars to go.
Actually, I believe Buckshot came out pretty lucky. I don't think he got a lot of damage, but the rest of them did.
From above.
Here we go, down into turn 1. Little pop there in the rear end. That's all it takes. It's so uncalled for. That's what I'm telling you. People look at that and say, oh, it's just racing. It is, but it's bad racing. You're not supposed to be doing that.
From the Napa onboard camera.
Sterling Marlin in the 40 car just getting by.
Oh, Buckshot. He got into something pretty hard.
Thought he got out of there pretty lucky, but he didn't.
Ron Hornaday gets his service, and he's gone. Matt?
A chassis adjustment for Dale Jarrett in the left rear, still complaining his car's a little bit loose. A 4-tire stop. Darren Jarrett, who actually drives the UPS truck, hands the tire into Mike Trower. A little bit of trouble on the left rear. 88's down and away, as is 19 to Steve.
Jeff Gordon getting 4 tires, a slight air pressure adjustment. 99 also gets 4 tires and a track bar adjustment.
Rusty Wallace only took 2 tires on that stop now, and that's how he got out ahead of those guys. I asked him about his pit selection. I wasn't real happy. I wouldn't have been with pit number 11. I think before the day's over with, he's going to not be happy with it either.
Kevin Harvick, meanwhile, has taken his car to the garage with heavy front-end damage.
Look, here's pit number 11 right here. He likes that because it's in a straight line. He's got an opening right here, so he thinks that's the place to be. But quite frankly, he's got to come out of his pit and come around this pit lane here, around this turn. Here's Gordon way down here in pit number 1. He just shoots straight out. Rusty could have been right there.
Yeah, what you got to remember, here's the line right here that determines who beats who out. Gordon just has to move about 10 feet, and he's beat everybody out.
I questioned him in the pre-race show about that, and he said, just watch me and see how I do.
Dick?
Hornaday just pitted out of the lead, took 4 tires. That's the first time the left side tires has been changed so far today. Fred Graves, his crew chief, starts today with Hornaday in this series.
Right. Rusty's pit stall is like having a parking place right below the tower here. You get in real easy, but getting out, not so good. We'll be right back to Martinsville.
Said, I can't believe we're going to take these beautiful machines out here and just basically beat them all to pieces, but this is a slugfest. This is a bull ring. You're going to have this kind of damage. The guys are going to root and gouge because this competition is so equal. The one thing I'm really kind of noticing right now is Goodyear has got a tire that is really fantastic. Got guys that way in the back are still out there, only got like maybe 80, 90 laps on these tires, and they're still staying on the racetrack. I can't believe this.
We saw some of the damage. Speaking of bad bodies, let's go. I kid because I care. Let's get back down to Dick Berggren on pit road. Dick?
Well, Kevin Harvick's car is an absolute mess. Not only is the radiator busted, hood all bent up, the entire front area is bent. The radiator shroud has gotten caught in the fan belt. Fan belt has turned over. These guys have really got some problems. Harvick sits on the back of the wall. What happened?
Well, unfortunately, I think we got caught up in the middle of a mess. A whole lot of guys that are impatient, and we're just kind of riding around trying to fix our car and stay on the lead lap. But need to go to passing 101, I think. Instead of running into each other, you might want to try and drive around, but there's not a lot of room, so we'll fix it and get back out and gain some points.
Welcome to Martinsville. To Steve Burns.
Dick, Mark Griezmann, go ask the spotter for Mark Martin, Chris Forrest, if we can get up to him and lead a lap, and we've got trouble. The 19 car.
Casey Atwood got turned around coming out of turn 2, and Darrell's another one of those chain reaction situations.
It's no making his own, but I tell you who is benefiting big time is that 28 car.
Ricky Rudd gets his lap back as they take caution at lap 148.
know Ricky is very happy about that caution.
But it's going to cost Casey Atwood at least 1 lap.
Yeah, I guess he can't get turned around. Maybe he can't get the engine fired back up. No, he's got it going.
Here's what happened.
Just gets a little nudge here. It just takes so little. It just takes the car's kind of halfway hung out, and somebody bumps into you while you're trying to pick up the throttle, and around you go.
He looks like he checked up for Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 car. Dale Jarrett gets into the back of him.
From the UPS cam on board Jarrett.
That's exactly what happened.
Mark Martin's on pit road.
They're all around.
Leading Bobby Hamilton and Matt Kenseth. Here are 2 of the Petty cars out of the race, Buckshot Jones and Kyle Petty. Kyle's car damaged in that accident at lap 112 that turned Michael Waltrip around, and Buckshot Jones has had his share of misfortune, as has the 3rd Petty car here, number 43, John Andretti.
Yeah, he's wounded. He's just out there riding around. He's several laps down, and not a good day for the Petties to pull it that far to get it to turn.
A spin in turn 4. Jerry Nadeau has spun at the crossover. And that'll bring out caution for the 6th time today.
Oh, no. Then he rolled back just a little bit, and it really had everybody confused as to which way to go. The spot could hear the spotters now. Go high, go, no, go. No. Well, I don't see any damage to the car.
Spotters. They get a little relief here under caution.
Yeah, look out. Here we go. I'll get me a drink of water now.
Ron Thiel getting a drink of water there.
Yeah, they're going to the cooler. Get me a little drink of water here now, boys. Whew, I needed a break. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Well, you know, they're under a lot of stress, same as the drivers. That's the only break they get is when there's a caution.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But all our leaders on pit road, I mean, a team sport. You got spotters, you got these pit crews, you got drivers, you got fabricators. I can't stress this is a team sport. It's a team sport.
Dick?
Kevin LePage is in right now. He's going to take 4 tires on this car. David Ift, his crew chief, the veteran. They are around to the left side. This is the best thing that could possibly happen to LePage. McReynolds is right. He's job hunting. Look at that. 4 tire stop for Sterling. Marlin, they made an air pressure adjustment. He was a little bit loose to Steve. Bobby Hamilton's going to stop. They will make no adjustments to that car. Just 4 tires. The crew chief, Jimmy Elledge, on the front tires. Jason Sheets on the rear. Jerry Painter's the jack man. 4 tires for Bobby Hamilton. They love it.
And at the other end of pit road, Rusty Wallace came out right into the left rear corner of Dale Jarrett.
Boy, he did. He knocked the fire out of him.
It is so congested going down into turn 1 on pit road here. Have a look.
Here we go. He's going to come out of there, and he's, bam, man. He's trying to get in there. Not enough room there, Russell.
And what we got to remember, this pit road is wider than it's ever been. It's been widened by about the width of a car. You can imagine what it was like before, and it's still tight.
Oh, yeah, and the turn, going around the curve is what makes it so bad.
Yeah, this track just is not big enough to allow all the cars to fit in a straight line.
What a great feeling when you have that good pit stop.
One happy crew. We'll be back to Martinsville in a moment. This is NASCAR on Fox.
NASCAR Winston Cup racing from Martinsville on Fox is brought to you by NBNA, issuer of the official NASCAR credit card. Log on, NBNA.com.
Our aerial coverage today provided by the Monster.com blimp. The Trump is one of 2 blimps they have in the U.S. It's 165 feet long, 55 feet tall. When it's empty, it weighs over 5,500 pounds. Goes down the straightaway real well, but forget turn 1. Now here's that close call after the Nadeau spin.
Yeah, he's rolling back there, you know, and it's just causing everybody the spotters don't know what to tell their driver.
That was our 1st and 2nd place car. We're back racing.
We're not halfway yet in trouble down. Big wreck down here in turn 4.
Bobby Labonte, Mike Skinner.
Bobby Labonte went around. Don't really think.
A lot of damage on the front of Brett Bodine, the 11 car.
Andy Houston trying to get a lap back from Hornaday as they come to the caution.
And they got a split, Brett Bodine.
And he did it.
Boy, good thing Brett Bodine got going.
Jerry Nadeau may also have gotten a lap back from his Hendrick Motorsports teammate, Gordon, but not from the race leader. No, maybe. We'll double check that. No, he's falling back in line.
No, nope. He didn't make it.
Didn't make it. Entering turn 3.
See a little bump from Kenny Schrader on the back of Mike Skinner. This is in turn 3 and 4.
He seems to be a little irritated with Skinner for some reason.
And he turned Mike Skinner around. Bobby Labonte nowhere to go. Mike Skinner spins to the inside. Bobby Labonte right there.
And Jimmy Spencer.
And who got the worst of it? Or Brett Bodine.
Brett Bodine, who had nothing to do with it, and I don't think the 18 car got much damage at all.
Pit stops. Dick Berggren.
Ron Hornaday pits out of the lead. He had over 80 laps on those tires. He asked for 4 fresh tires and 2 bottles of water, not just 1. It is very, very hot.
Mark Martin has taken a hard hit into the turn 3 wall.
I was looking right at it. Something happened to the car. As he went down in the 3rd turn, it snapped around on him as if cut a tire down or something broke. No brakes. I'm not sure what it was, but something caused the car to take just an incredibly fast turnaround. And that's a hard lick up against that outside retaining wall, driver's side.
And the Pfizer number 6 may be finished for the day.
Yeah,
I see Mark is moving around inside the car. And caution, of course, is out. 8th caution of the day.
Our leader of the 55 car, Bobby Hamilton, stayed out. Looks like everybody else has come to pit road.
Matt?
And the 40 car makes its way to the pit box. Sterling Marlin complaining his car is a little bit tight. They were talking about what to do, maybe air pressure, and that's what they've done. You can see Sterling threw out the 1 ice bag they gave to him on the last stop. Tony Santanacola has another one just in his hand in case Sterling does call for more, and he's down and away to Dick.
In a cloud of brake dust, Dale Jarrett has come in to change 4 tires on his car. He said it's in a bit loose, and so they're going to try to adjust it with tire pressure. Nice stop to Steve.
Jeff Gordon is in. They made an adjustment on the right side, a round and a half down on the track bar, and 4 tires for Jeff Gordon. Left side tires going on now, and Gordon is off and away pit road.
Everyone except Hamilton, it appears, on the lead lap.
Well, I think
just about came in.
I think you can roll those dice a couple of times, but I don't know if I'd roll them this long or not. This is an excellent opportunity to come in, get 4 tires, and make it to the end. So I think he's stretching it just a little bit.
They're the loneliest guys on pit road, Bobby Hamilton's crew and Dale Jarrett's crew. We're under caution at Martinsville. This is NASCAR on Fox.
Welcome back to Martinsville. Our 8th caution flag going into lap 275. Earlier in the race, rookie Andy Houston and then Kenny Wallace.
He gets caught up in a little accident right there.
Rusty Wallace led the most of the first 40 laps and had a little spin out.
Yep. That's Martinsville right there. Little Mike goes around. Schrader involved in that accident. Mike Skinner.
A lot of cars beat up. And look at Kevin Harvick. Talk about a bad nose job. It's a half track, maybe half car. He could hang in there. Currently, Bobby Hamilton Jr. is leading, but Mark Martin, who had the most recent mishap, is not speaking in the Viagra car, but he did walk away from his accident. Let's go down to Matt Yoakum for more.
Well, Chris, Mark Martin is going to head on to the infield care center, debrief his inner south, try to cool off after what happened. He said the left rear tire went down on the 6 car earlier. They were talking about a missed problem on that number 6 car. Apparently, the battery was starting to die. They're thinking that's what the problem was. To Steve. Well, at the 99, their strategy has been they have taken 4 tires on every stop. They did it this past time. Add a little bit wedge. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
Well, this little device is what the crew chiefs call the chip. It plugs into the control box for the ignition system. This one is 9,400. That's 9,400 RPM. It'll shut the engine down at that RPM. Some of the drivers insist on having that so the engine doesn't blow up. Others, like Rusty Wallace, just kind of lift at the end of the straightaway, keep their fingers crossed, and hope.
All right, thanks, Dick. Sometimes the smallest detail can become the biggest problem. Over 85,000 here at Martinsville, seeing a heck of a race. A lot of bumping and grinding going on. Bobby Hamilton, an 18-1 long shot when the race started. He was our Jeff Hammond's pick. He has the lead right now over Jeff Burton, and we have Sterling Marlin third as we go through lap 275. What should we get ready for over these next couple hundred laps?
Well, as we get on a little bit further, starting right now, it's going to get worse instead of getting better.
You mean as far as the collision?
As far as the collision is concerned, because these guys got to have track position. Everybody understands right now track position is so important, so important. And if you don't get that, and that's the reason why Bobby's guys stayed out. I'm not too sure I agree with this strategy right now. I know Jimmy was talking about, hey, we're going to try to go gas only and not really worry about it. But I think right now, when the guy from second on that back have all got 4 brand new tires, you may be in trouble.
All right, Dale Jarrett, always successful in new cars, having a new car here. He's currently running 4th and the points leader. He has never won in 29 trips, made his first Winston Cup start at this track. Let's get more. Go upstairs to Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds.
Well, Bobby Hamilton has 70 laps on those tires and chose not to pit. Darrell, so far, you've been drive to make the car survive. What now?
Well, I like what I'm seeing. This is racing the way it used to be. These crew chiefs have had it easy, folks, for so long. They all stand in the pits, 4 tires, 4 tires, 4 tires. That's all they knew. Monkey see, monkey do. Today, they got to think a little bit. They got to earn those big bucks, Larry.
But the reason we was changing 4 tires, our driver kept saying, I want 4 tires, I want 4 tires. That's the reason we give him 4 tires.
Let's run them out of
fuel.
fuel.
DW, I like your pick, though. Ricky Rudd.
He's looking good.
In 6th position, 225 laps to go. He was 2 laps down. He's made both of those laps up.
Got a fast hot rod.
Put me in halfers on your pick.
Yeah, but we could only be about 6 or 8 laps, 6 or 8 cautions away from the finish.
Look, there's why I picked the fatback.
Michael McSwain is crew.
He's the man. Look at him. Look at them glasses. Turn around, Mike.
I believe he's been in your sunglasses.
Turn around, fatback. Wave to the crowd.
Well, we have fast hot rods, and then we have Mark Martin's poor car, who, after banging hard into the 3rd turn wall, goes off, we call that hammock style.
Yes, it is.
Between 2 wreckers.
Glad he's okay. He had to head to the infield care center to get checked out.
Dick?
Well, the pre-race show, Darrell, and he's got a lot of lap traffic in front of him. Oh, we got a spin. Mike Wallace, turn 3 and 4.
Right in front of the leaders.
And the caution is out.
Or right in front of the 2 car, anyway.
We've run 35 laps. Stay out, stay out, stay out. Especially if you're in the front 9 or 10 cars. Now, if you're at the back of the lead lap, come in, get you 4 tires.
Yeah, and that's what they'll do. And some of the back guys will come in and get tires, but it just hadn't paid off.
11th caution of the day. The record, 17. Let's again see what happened to Mike Wallace. Turn 3.
I think he gets a little poke from somebody. Woo.
They kind of poked each other.
Yeah. Elliott must have eaten too many bologna burgers last night. Damn.
Boy, right in front of Rusty Wallace in the 2 car.
They bammed into each other.
Look at Spencer. He's up there, too.
On board, Rusty Wallace.
Oh. Well, this is 50 laps last night on it. After about 200 laps tonight, it down low will be worn off, and they'll be looking.
Trouble down the front straightaway. Brett Bodine spins. There's more contact.
Caution is out.
Man, I don't.
Brett Bodine got together, I believe, with Kyle Petty.
I can tell you one thing. Everybody did a miraculous job of working their way through that mess.
And they'll have to sort out the scoring on the run to the caution flag here.
John Andretti just right here. John Andretti just ran up there and knocked the fire out of Ron Hornaday. So Ron Hornaday had something to do with that little. See him right here. John is not happy with Hornaday. Just come around there and knock the fire out of him.
Andretti's got it on both sides of the nose, and that is a backup car. Andretti destroyed his primary car in qualifying. Oof.
They're about to get pit road. They've got a left front tire rubbing. A lot of damage to that front end.
77's on pit road.
Let's see what happened as they stacked up heading for turn 1. That's Bodine around after contact with Kyle. Oof.
Kyle Petty in the 45 car.
He spun right down into Presley.
Forced Presley into that inside retaining wall on the inside going into turn 1.
There's Hornaday by himself at that point.
If you watch as you go down into turn 1, the 14 car runs in the back of John Andretti going into turn 1 right there.
There it is.
In the wall.
Yep.
That's what all it was about, Mike.
From Michael Waltrip in the Napa cam.
Oh. Like Kyle may have misjudged Brett Bodine and clipped him.
From Kenny Wallace.
Look at Mike Skinner, the 31 car, locking those brakes up. He barely caught the inside wall with his car.
And Rick Mast just snuck through. Kyle's car none the worse for wear, but his teammate John Andretti is going to spend a while on pit road. You're watching NASCAR on FX. Trouble in turn 2 is Ricky Craven in a big cloud of smoke and a big clout to the turn 2 concrete. Mike Wallace will get a lap back from his brother, and so will Ron Hornaday and Casey Atwood. Getting a lap back from the leader. And a strong run by Ricky Craven. Will go for naught.
Well, these guys are starting to move up the racetrack, trying to get that second groove to work for them. And if you tippy-toe over that line, buddy, the car will come around with you in a heartbeat.
A lot of damage around that race car.
Yeah, he's moving around in there trying to get things unhooked. And let's watch Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s in-car camera to see what happened to Craven.
Following him down in there, and you see
might have just slid away.
It looked like the guy was getting loose as he went down into the corner.
I couldn't tell how close Dale Jr.'s bumper was to his rear bumper is the problem. Definitely got loose getting in the corner. The grill's pushed in. See the grill right there? See how his grill's pushed in? I think he may have made a tad of contact with him getting in there.
Jimmy Spencer's in, Dick.
Yeah, they're still concerned about brakes, Mike. That really has been their problem all night long. Jimmy Spencer's just come on the radio and told his crew basically the difference between last night and tonight is he has got to use a whole lot more brake getting into the corners. Last night he was virtually invincible. Almost nobody could touch him. Tonight he runs a while, brakes heat up, he's back in the pits again. That tire, by the way, importantly, was not melted. That tire had a cut in it, so it wasn't that he had so much brake temperature it melted the right front tire down.
Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. also stopped, as did Casey Atwood. Very few lead lap cars coming in because they just made green flag
Exactly.
stops.
Had about 10 laps or even less on their tires. Stay out there for those track positions because we're still sitting here with about 20-something cars on the lead lap.
And there's Ricky Craven walking away okay. We'll be right back. The pits are busy because of a tangle up in turn 2. Between Ward Burton and Andy Houston, put us under caution for the third time tonight, so all the lead lap cars making pit stops, and Andy Houston, who was on track to have his best finish of the season, instead is walking back. Here it is.
Headed down into turn 1 here, Ward Burton up on the outside of Andy Houston. Going around the wreck car of Brett Bodine. Ward drops to the inside and gives Andy a little shot right there, and then that wasn't enough. He decided he might give him a little bit more.
Boy, he hit that wall hard.
He did. That slow, you know, folks, that's in slow motion, so you don't really get a good sensation of what it's like, but that's a pretty hard lick into the back straightaway wall. Bam.
Darrell, on that second one, it looked as if Andy'd gotten loose and he'd lost his forward motion. Ward had a lot of momentum coming up off that corner.
Yeah, Ward's going to turn under him right here and gas it, and whoops, got him sideways. I don't think it, yeah, Andy got loose. Actually, Ward never even touched him. Andy got a little, I think he probably tried to accelerate up out of that corner, and when he did, trying to stay ahead of Ward, lost it.
Yeah, they was out there on 90 to 100 lap tires. tires won't hook up when they got that many laps on them.
Now, he got a little shot there that first time, got him sideways, and then I think he probably tried to overdrive it up off the corner.
Boy, the real winner off pit road, Ricky Rudd, that Texaco Havoline group, they won the battle off pit road, 4 tires here at the halfway mark. Talked about it in the beginning. Temper, short track, full moon.
Boy, that's a shame, and it's so frustrating for that young man.
And he had a great run going.
Doing a good job, and he needed a great run. That team has struggled.
We are halfway in the Pontiac Excitement 400, a race that's living up to its name. And Ricky Rudd, after pit stops, is our leader over Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, and Jeff Gordon.
Moves around Mark Martin. Oh, trouble right here on the front.
Kurt Busch goes spinning, and a lot of brake and tire smoke trying to avoid him.
Here comes Peoples all over the place trying to get laps back, but I don't think they're going to make it this time.
No, Kenny Wallace way too far back to have a run at Ricky Rudd. 4th caution of the night. It comes at lap 218.
Of course, it's just 1 or 2 laps after a restart.
He just got loose. And guess who helps him on around?
Matt Kenseth, teammate, 17 car. But Kurt definitely had gotten loose before Matt ever got near him.
Right.
Darrell, if Kenseth hadn't helped him around, did he risk being punted from behind?
What he risked
if he hadn't just kept going?
Is the car turning dead right, what he risked.
Oh.
Because he had it sideways. When it come back around, he'd have shot right straight across in front of everybody and probably wiped out a bunch of cars. So I guess if you want to be kind to Matt Kenseth, he did him a favor.
Because there were about 20 or 25 cars right behind him coming at him.
Oh, yeah.
Here they all are from Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Bud Cam.
Saw Ward Burton in the 22 car really had to lock his tires up.
And that old yeller smoke comes flying up off those tires.
Now, Andy Houston turned around in turn 2, knocked out of the race. Genie's with him. 7/10 of a second is about 6 or 7.
Trouble, big trouble. Down the front, cars going everywhere.
Blaney and Michael
about kids, they're still wrecking the 5 car. And here comes the leader.
Caution out, spotters backing everybody down. Kenny Wallace could not get his lap back, despite Rusty jumping on the brakes. And the accident scene is pretty clear when they get there.
Michael.
A lot of damage to the rear of that car. Everybody got their car going.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of cars that, particularly Terry Labonte and Michael's car, were torn up the worst.
Here's how it started. Coming up off turn 4.
Really, as I just had said, after these restarts, it's some really intense racing going on back in the field here. Ooh. Oh, I see Kenny Schrader and Bill Elliott bounced off each other. Michael was there. Bobby Hamilton slides through.
Casey Atwood spinning right through the middle of it.
It's like I said, you can get 3 wide. The track is wide enough down the center of this front straightaway, but when they get down here to the closer to turn 1, something's got to give. Kenny and Bill Elliott get together and turn Michael around. Dale Jr. does a good job avoiding it.
Bobby Hamilton
got some damage. 19 car. Bunch of cars got damage.
From Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Bud Cam.
Well, he did a good job of getting through this mess.
Now, some of the lead lap cars have pitted, but not the front runners.
No, what happened about 1st through 8th stayed out there?
Man, that real time it's incredible when you see them coming at you like that.
All the leaders was on pit road at lap 197. Now, that was about 40 laps ago, but we run about 27 caution laps. So not a lot of laps on our tires. But again, a lot of the guys at the back of the lead pack decided to come to pit road.
Dick?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. had to pit because he had flat-spotted tires. Michael Waltrip has to pit because the whole back end of this race car is all torn up. Spoiler is off of it. That's going to be a huge problem. They've got electric saws out there trying to cut enough stuff off this car so they can at least have half a chance of rebuilding the back end. And they are going to have to do that for Michael Waltrip to get back on the racetrack. Right now, they wouldn't even be able to put gas in this thing. It is so bad up, Mike.
Bobby Hamilton as well, flailing sheet metal on the right side. Going to put a big Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, they just get rid of most of that. It's hanging loose. They got saws.
Jimmy Elledge, the crew chief, on the right of your screen working, and now they'll just Band-Aid the rest.
You want to get rid of all the sheet metal, but you want to keep that deck lid. You want to keep
that part right there, that big spoiler. You got to keep that on there. You can't drive the car.
They couldn't take any more time to fix it because the pace car is coming, and he doesn't want to lose a lap there. Michael Waltrip brushes the wall after contact from Bill Elliott, who was bumped by Kenny Schrader, and that puts us under caution number 5 on Full Moon Saturday night at Richmond. Last year, Tony Stewart won more races than any Winston Cup driver. Earnhardt Jr. leads, and the crowd comes to its feet.
Jeff Gordon's the man on the move. He's got a fast car, and that's a money man. He is in control of the race. He's just got to sit there and keep everybody at bay. What a great drive by Ricky Rudd. You get in the lead, it fixes everything. You ever notice that? 200 run. Yeah, because the give up, man, big trouble.
Turn 3, one car up against the wall, and Jerry Nadeau has shortened up the rear end of his second car of the weekend. He had a similar crash at turn 2 in practice. Now, we were talking about fuel mileage. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went 112 laps, which included 5 laps of caution plus the 4 pace laps before he pitted for the first time.
And we've only run 13 laps since that last caution. Just remember, these caution laps, they will help fuel mileage.
Not sure if there was anything between John Andretti and Jerry Nadeau, but Nadeau ending up in the fence at turn 3. Now, he did crash in practice, and then here is the second lap of qualifying for Nadeau, actually quicker than his first lap, even with the car going around. So he did time trial into the field. It's been a tough weekend at Richmond for Nadeau.
Talked to his group. This is the car that he ran 4th with in the Winston a year ago, and also Ricky Hendrick drove this car in an ARCA race at Charlotte in October. It was their backup car for here.
They got a lot of work to do, but they got a week to get it ready for Charlotte.
Everybody calculating fuel mileage under the lights and the full moon at Richmond International Raceway. 101 laps to go. Welcome back to Richmond. 301 laps complete of the 400. Jerry Nadeau's crash in turn 3 puts us under the 7th caution of the day, or night, as you will. This is from Bobby Hamilton's car.
We may have found out what caused that problem there. Looked like they're getting together going down through there.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't stay together.
No.
But they got together.
Steve Burns?
Robin Pemberton. Robin, can you run the rest this way? What's your strategy for the
laps? Has been slowed down quite a bit. Now we're talking about, should I try to put the slide job on him? No, but you sure don't want to do that either.
Boy, he had his hands full. Look at his hands in there fighting that thing.
Man, that's a great save. I mean, he had the thing underneath of him trying to make the pass, but it almost bit him, and there goes Dale Jr. by.
No pressure from behind.
So Jarrett battling for 6th. Slides back to 8th.
That's when you'd like to have a little bit more grip, but the old tires just won't take it.
Let's watch on board Dale Jarrett as that happened.
Whoa. That was a great save.
It was.
A lot of momentum to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. and A car go by him while he was trying to gather it back up. See, Dale Jarrett's right front rotor starting to really glow there. Again, we've got about 12 laps to go. You don't worry about those things now.
No, your tires are pretty well gone now, and you're just really driving it down in there and slamming on the brakes and kind of get it woed up and keep it on the track.
Down to Tony Stewart, who now moves up.
Trouble over here in turn 4.
Blaney in the wall.
No caution. No caution yet.
There's got to be a caution. I mean, he's going to stay up against that wall.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Leader out of turn 2. Casey Atwood's going to hold on the lead lap here as they come to caution. Jeff Burton may get one back, or maybe Schrader. Now, or maybe both of them. Burton pulls underneath. Here comes Schrader, and they both get back on the lead lap. 7 laps to go as the caution comes out for Dave Blaney.
All right, there's 7 laps to go. I don't know if they would have enough time to do it, but Darrell, we've seen this a lot of the last couple of years. NASCAR throw a red flag so they can get this racetrack cleaned up where we can have some green flag racing.
Well, I don't think this, I think that car is capable of being moved pretty quickly here. I can't imagine they'd stop the race at this point.
6 laps to go. Tony Stewart trying to hurry the pace car there. Here's what happened to Dave Blaney.
See, here goes Blaney driving off there.
So Blaney drives away with damage, severe damage to the right front of his car. Caution out. It's going to be 5 to go, and the pace car has stopped to the roar of the crowd.
The fans love it. We'll see green flag racing at the end of this race.
Now, the pace car stopped to let the track truck out to put down a little, to do a little cleanup work there at turn 4.
Yeah, I just don't, the track's not that bad. There's nothing really to worry about, I don't think.
Terry Labonte got a win in 1998 here in this type of situation. The red flag is not out. However, the pace car and the field have stopped.
And Blaney is going by. Here's Blaney right here. He's come all the way around the racetrack, trying to get it back in the garage. So I think they're just checking the track before they bring them around, and when they bring them around, they give them 1 to go.
Talk about a shootout. Get all your bullets and get your guns loaded, because we're about to have one here at Richmond International Raceway in the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Labonte slides across the infield grass toward the start-finish line and is going to straighten it out, but caution is out.
He got hit by somebody. I couldn't tell who it was. I just saw him spinning.
First caution of the day comes out at lap 58. Now the leader is that gold car of Jimmy Spencer. He has not taken the caution flag. So here are some cars getting laps back from Spencer.
Now with that last change, you want to leave what we had. Go back to where we were.
Yesterday in practice, Labonte had a spin off turn 2. No contact, no damage.
No help either.
No.
I think he got a little help this time. Let's see what happens here. I believe he slides right up in front of the 30 car, and they make a little contact. Exactly what happened.
He was definitely chasing his car.
Yeah, he was. That's what the cars do here. They'll come off that corner. You got the throttle wide open, and it just wants to take. You got to use up every bit of the racetrack. Unfortunately, somebody was in his way.
Darrell, was that a world-class save to keep that car, get that car
right.
pointed right?
Maybe he practiced that move yesterday, and when he spun yesterday.
Now, when you pit under green and everyone takes 4 tires, you can't gain a lot of time and positions on pit road, but you sure can lose some.
Oh, yeah. Todd Bodine really lost a ton of time on his pit stop. Look at that.
Came in second, came out 23rd.
Made a big difference right there. And what we got to remember, he very well could have gotten in and out of the pits good, but the problem was when we went to leave his pit box, he lost all that time. But look at Jeff Gordon. He always does a good job getting in and out of his pits.
Now that time we show in the right-hand column, that's in lap, the lap he comes in pits, and the out lap and the pit stop all combined. That's getting slowed down, getting back up to speed, everything. The pit crew work and the driver work.
2 laps, including the pit stop.
Right.
Problems with them ourselves this weekend.
Down in the corner. Michael.
Trouble on the racetrack.
Kenny Schrader.
Michael's around into the wall. Looked like something happened to his car.
Ricky Craven, the 32 car as well.
Caution's out.
These guys are all reacting to what they saw in
Bye, if you will. They're asking.
97 maybe can get his lap back.
Clear.
He's trying. Yep, Kurt Busch is going to make it. Wallace is going to give him room, and Kurt Busch, who started this race,
Like it's coming outside.
is back in contention.
Thank you very much.
Took him 150 laps, but he finally got his lap
Let's give him a
back.
big hand because he has been up there trying.
Jeff?
That's what you get for having perseverance right there. A great job of that young man right there.
But what he has a good car, and he's able to hang around the front. Sooner or later, it'll work out.
And I think last weekend, he earned a lot of respect from the drivers from Talladega, had a great run at Talladega, but he showed, you work with me, I'll work with you. He's come a long way in a short time.
Let's show you what happened to bring this caution out in turn 2.
Watch Michael's car, I think it is. Right up here in the front of the top of the screen. Gets a little loose, he corrects, and boom, bam.
hits that outside retaining wall. And then the 32 goes around reacting to what he saw.
It was almost like he overcorrected.
He just, yeah, he didn't know where Michael was going to go. He didn't know if he's going to come off the wall or stay there.
Have a great view. Caution is out. We'll be back to the California Speedway in a moment. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. And they're out lap, the lap they come out of the pit.
Jerry Nadeau, 25 car, spinning on the backstretch. Caution is out.
And I believe everyone has made their pit stops under green.
And I hate it. There goes your strategy, Larry.
Mike Skinner going to try to make his lap up in that 31 car. Of course, Rusty Wallace, the 2 car, he is the leader right now.
It's a big break for Todd Bodine, who, man, I'll tell you, he was hurting until that happened.
And it erases Wallace's advantage.
Coming outside. Outside.
Oh, new deal.
Outside.
And I got to believe the new deal will be, if you can make it, you stay out. If you can't make it, you got to pit.
Yeah, these guys just came in, so there's no reason to come back in unless you need fuel.
All right, leader has now taken the caution flag after Jerry Nadeau's spin. 43 laps, 86 miles to go. Will anybody stop? That's the question.
Jimmy Spencer, Steve Park, I bet you'll be on pit road.
Oh, I think they're happy to see this. Yeah, Jimmy Spencer particularly.
This is really, a caution flag is really now Spencer's only chance to win the race, and he got one.
Yeah, but think about this. If the other guys don't have to come in, he's going to be pretty far back in the field when he restarts. And passing is not easy at the end of the day. Nobody will give you anything.
And with 31 cars still on the lead lap, he'll have a long way to go. Mark Martin has crashed with Ward Burton. This will bring out a caution at lap 225. Martin slides down just out of harm's way.
Ward's car had a little fire coming out of it. I think it's gone out now.
6th caution today at lap 224.
Mark, kind of hard to tell how much. He's got lots of damage.
Both these guys running in the top 10 when this accident happened.
See if we can see what happened here. 22 down in the corner. He looks like he and Mark may have gotten together. It's kind of hard to tell.
That's entering turn 3.
I'm not so sure. You know, Burton got loose down here in turn 1 and 2 and lost the 2 and 3 spots. He may have just gotten loose. There's a little fire coming out from under the hood.
And there's a good sight. The window net comes down, which means Ward's, that's a signal to the rescue workers. He's okay and able to get out.
Still, that's a hard impact on that right front. You can see how that whole right front corner, the right front tire's up in here somewhere right now. Here we go. Let's see if they get, comes down. You know, I think he was getting loose, and that's why Mark got up against him. I think Ward was loose getting in the corner.
And he's getting loose, and Mark gets closer to him. That just makes him looser.
Worse.
Takes the air off the rear spoiler.
Yeah, we're running 8th and 9th. I'm not sure on the Dodge if that fuel pump's in the same place it is on the Chevy, and might have knocked the fuel pump off it.
I don't know. So. It's rolled all that back underneath the car. Mark's car is damaged heavily as well. Again, I can't tell you how you fight for every inch at the end.
Hold the car to get it up.
You do everything you can to keep a position. You don't want to go backwards at the end of the day.
Listening to Jimmy Fennig instruct his crew. Rescue workers talking to Ward Burton. They were running 8th and 9th. Martin came in here 21st in the Winston Cup points. Ward Burton was 16th.
Again, folks, it's heavy impact on the right front side, on the right front corner. They've got the side window out, the right side window out, trying to look into the car. It's pinned up against the wall, making it difficult for the safety worker to get in.
Now, he did drop the window net on his own, a signal to the rescue crews and to the officials that I'm okay, that there's no urgent need for them to have any risk in getting across the racetrack to his aid. So they'll help him out, and we'll come back. 225 of 250 laps, 50 miles of racing to go here at California Speedway in the Napa Auto Parts 500 on Fox. The 6th caution of the day came out for 8th and 9th place Ward Burton and Mark Martin racing and crashing going into turn number 3. Martin's gone around to pit road for repairs, and now Ward climbs out and looks to be okay. That is good news.
Yeah, he's moving around. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, and he looks like he's okay.
Another look at what happened entering turn 3.
And again, as we look at this, think about it, folks. We've been showing you the graphic, 190 miles an hour into this corner. It's just very difficult to tell. I think Ward may have checked up a little early, and it's hard to tell if Mark tapped him or not.
If he did, it wasn't very much at all.
It wasn't, but I think Ward had gotten loose, and I think that complicated matters for him.
Now, as that was happening, Kevin Harvick dropped down toward the track 8 laps. Mr. Newman, should he stay in this position, he will exit and prepare for the Winston. Everyone else, if they stay on track, they hold position. If they go to the pits, they go to the back for the 16-lap sprint. Second place, Rudd is there. He's got the spot going into turn 1. Okay, third place. Jeez, Newman's so far out in front, I'm getting so mixed up here. It's third place. Second in class, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, no!
Oh, he blew up. Look out, Ricky, don't get in the oil. Watch the oil, guys.
Caution is out.
No.
Caution's in and out.
What a shame. Poor guy. 3 to go.
Oh, the sound of silence coming across the finish line. Ryan Newman had a 30-lap race, and it looks like he's had a 28-lap power plant.
Wow. Man, I've seen that happen before here, but it's supposed to happen on the last lap.
He had such a lead, he still led that lap right there with a blown-up motor.
Now, if that engine's still running, because caution laps don't count, he might still win this.
Yeah, but there's something, I can't imagine that he could go back to race speed.
Well, we don't know the motor's blown up. We know something's badly broken somewhere.
Now, regardless, Ryan Newman, Johnny Benson, Ricky Rudd, Darrell, these guys, I would come to pit road now, get my 4 tires. I would do it right now.
Well, yeah, he's got fire coming out the exhaust now.
Yep, but all he's got to do is Sanford and Son it around for one more lap, and he wins. Uh-oh.
I don't think it's going to make it that far. Oh. I think that big ball of fire that came out of her, that's all she had. That's all she wrote.
Oh, man.
Dear John, that's all she wrote.
2 courses shy of his engineering degree and 2 laps shy of getting into the Winston. This has always been a night of surprises, folks.
Okay.
And here's some more.
Johnny Benson, Ricky Rudd, Ricky Craven stays out.
Oh, trouble down turn 1 down here, guys. Big trouble.
One car hard in the wall. Buckshot Jones and Dave Marcus is also involved. Oh, Buckshot hit a ton.
He did. He turned, that car turned dead right and went head on up into the outside retaining wall. That's a very, very, very ugly wreck.
Jason Leffler is also involved with Marcus and Buckshot Jones. Big, hard hit, but he's getting set to climb out. He's put down the window net. That's a sign to safety officials that he's okay. Tries to get everything undone and out. And a sad break for Dave Marcus, the 60-year-old veteran. There's Buckshot Jones, who is all right.
Got on the Hans device.
Yep. He's out of that petty dodge.
Let me tell you, that kind of lick that he took, if he hadn't had that Hans device on, this is a violent lick. Watch this car right here. Watch him turn. Up the hill, and, buddy, she's not slowing down. Ooh, that's a hard lick.
Looked like he got loose, Darrell, and corrected it back, and it just shot right up the hill into the outside wall.
And there's Dave Marcus with nowhere to go, and
Ricky Craven going all the way to the bottom.
Squeezes by on the inside on the apron. Another car back here spins.
Poor Marcus, if he had turned left, he would have turned right into another car, had nowhere to go.
Heavy impact. I'm so glad he had that Hans device on. The 01 car was the other car down there.
Jason Leffler.
A big crash, but fortunately everyone okay on the second of 16 laps in the Noble Sprint to set the final starting spot for the Winston. Welcome back to Lowe's Motor Speedway. It is not just darkness that's descending upon Charlotte, but there is lightning and thunder, not just here on the speedway, but not far off on the horizon. In the upper right of your screen, we've seen some lightning off in that direction. And here we are just outside of Charlotte. There's that storm moving in, and can't wait till that one, can't wait till this other one here gets here, and hopefully that will move around us.
I don't know, the hippy-dippy weatherman could tell we're going to have rain here before long.
For Ryan Newman, it was almost. He's with Matt Yoakum.
Well, Mike, Ryan Newman, the rookie, had a dominating car, but a disappointing finish. How frustrating being only so close, but yet so far from being in the big show.
I'm as much excited as I am frustrated, I guess. To be able to run up front in a race like that is just phenomenal. But, you know, this is not a Rolex. This is a race car, and they do break. So, you know, thank all the guys at Penske Engines. I mean, it was a bullet, obviously. And Matt Borland did a great job on the setup. And, you know, we'll come back with the Altel Ford, come Coca-Cola 600, and see what we can do then.
One of the big signs of tonight, Don Miller, co-owner of this team, came up and patted him on the back, said we'll get him again next time.
I can tell you one thing. He did everything right as a driver, even saving it when it blew up like that. So a very, very outstanding performance.
Race, the 17th annual running of the Winston gets the green flag. And Steve Park, boy, real loose on the start, almost spun.
A bunch of guys did. Jeff Burton got in the back of Tony Stewart and turned him sideways. Oh, car's sideways. All the cars are loose down in the corner. The track is wet. It's Gordon, Michael Walter, Kevin 29 car. All these cars are wrecking because I believe it might be raining down there.
And the rain is coming even harder.
Oh, for Pete's sake. What a way to start this event.
For some drivers, what a way to end it.
Unbelievable.
They waved the green flag. The sky opened up. Harvick, shower of sparks up in turn 3. And now it's pretty well pouring here in Concord. There is Kevin Harvick's damaged car. Jeff Burton won't make it back to pit road. Jeff Gordon walks away.
See him wearing the Hans device.
NASCAR stock cars compete on tires that have no tread, cannot tolerate a wet track. When the green flag waved, there was a very, very light drizzle falling, but not enough to dampen the racetrack and cause loss of traction.
Well, watch these guys. Even on the start, watch them, Larry. There's a couple of them. Tony Stewart right in here. He gets run into the back of by Jeff Burton. A bunch of guys didn't get going all that well. I think they were spinning their tires.
Yeah, watch Steve Park right there in that one car. Look how loose he gets.
See Tony Stewart get all sideways there because Burton got into him, and these guys are all over the place. They get down here to the corner, and everybody starts up the hill. I mean, everybody's loose. There goes Harvick.
Rusty Wallace all but hit the wall.
Rusty was so lucky. Watch Park back here, and if you can...
Right there.
See, he can't get going. He's just spinning the tires and does everything but spin out.
Yeah, we thought he spun the tires from acceleration, but obviously the racetrack was getting damp already.
I believe it must have been. I think there must have been enough moisture on the racetrack that they just couldn't get any traction.
From all-star to all-weather.
Michael has had a tough weekend here.
Uh-oh.
Nowhere for him to go.
Oh, boy. Right into the side of Jeff Gordon. That was a hard lick for Jeff and Michael.
From Bobby Hamilton.
Just gets through.
Good job on Bobby's part of avoiding it.
And centered on Jeff Gordon.
Like the back end just come around. He got into Burton. Just not enough grip down there. It looked like...
Boy, what a lick right
He'd
there.
hit him hard.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, hit him back here in the back. Didn't get him in the driver's door.
Caution laps do not count.
Well, this event has never been uneventful. There's always been a controversy surrounding this event. Tonight, Mother Nature has something to do with it.
We're under caution after one lap here at the Winston. We'll be right back.
What you want to do, but they need to be in the race.
A quick look at the rules and the entry blank would not permit a backup car, but the rules for this race are special. You can work on the cars during a red flag, but there's that line, EIRI, except in rare instances. This is one of them.
It is, I think. Mother Nature.
Dick Berggren?
Well, I'm with Rusty.
Stewart around in turn 2. Stewart, he's sideways. Can he save it? Come on, buddy, hang on to it.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
He didn't hit anything, but he was underneath the car going in the corner, and it just sucked him around. He's going to get going and not lose a lap.
And Newman will lead the second lap.
You know, I've asked myself time and time again, how can you get out of an Indy car in a stock car and be ready to go, know what the car's going to feel like, even though you've done it 1,000 times, or vice versa? That takes some incredible adjustment and talent.
We are under caution. Ryan Newman leads the Coke 600. Tony Stewart has spun at turn 2 of lap 2, and the fans hold 3 fingers aloft to celebrate their memories of Dale Earnhardt. Here's what happened to Stewart.
He was just down in that corner. I saw him go down in under, I believe it was Kurt Busch
in the 97 car.
He got down in one underneath those, and the car started up the hill, and Tony made a little contact with him, and then the car came around. Busch was lucky to hang on to his. Tony did a great job of not hitting anything.
Stewart's on pit road, of course, obviously to get 4 Goodyear tires. I'm sure those tires are flat spotted. See the 97 Kurt Busch, they got together there, and he spins. Matt Yoakum.
Larry, Tony Stewart came on the radio and said it was just my fault. I feel like I was a little bit loose on entry, but I shouldn't have been trying to go underneath them. The front valence is pushed back in a little bit. A 4 tire change. It did make an air pressure adjustment in the right front tire. Now Jason Shapiro goes and works on the front valence, trying to pull that valence back out, pushing under as he came down off the banking. Taking their time. Greg Zipadelli keeping track of where the pace car is, so they don't lose any. Here, let's go to Jeannie.
Well, that Jarrett came on the...
Guy is no fluke. He's for real. He holds the track record here. He's on the pole. I believe he's going to be a strong contender all night long. Whoa, if he doesn't beat himself.
Oh, he hits outside wall. He's going to come down. Oh, overcorrected, Darrell.
He got that wobble.
Hard contact.
That was what I was worried about the most, him beating himself.
They will race back to the flag.
No reason to. Everybody's just trying to gain position, but he's right in the middle of the racetrack. Let's get in line, boys. Work by him. Car's got a little fire coming out from it. That's from the exhaust.
The wrong case of deja vu. We talked about another Penske winner winning, and instead the repeat performance we got was the leader early in the race, pounding the wall as Scott Sharp did at Indy.
I tell you what,
you did a hell of a job. You stayed with it a lot longer than most guys would have.
That was an example.
Have a real good look at it in here. Put 4 tires on it.
Listen to the
He's
spotter.
definitely probably going to need a radiator and some other stuff, Matt. Go ahead and get the crash cart going. It's pretty bad. 10-4. Let's bring it into the garage, guys.
That's an example of Jeff Gordon, the veteran, putting that nose right up against the back of that rookie's car and loosening him up.
Let's have a look at it. Turn 4.
He's loose way before he even gets to the corner.
He was loose with Gordon on the high side.
Yeah.
And that was close on Jeff Gordon.
It really was.
He had it corrected, overcorrected right there outside wall hard.
And the man who capitalized was Jimmy Spencer. He was the first car to the flag, so Spencer is the new leader of this race. Here's another look.
Right about where Dale Jarrett spun out qualifying. It's a little bit of a wavy place in the track right there. In the back of the car, get a light with you. If your shock package isn't just right, that's what you get.
Here comes Spencer on the bottom to lead.
26 car. He's going to take advantage of this situation. But look at Ryan Newman sitting in the middle of the racetrack here, and we got about 38 or 39 cars coming at him. They're going to start splitting him right here. Look at Harvick, the 29 car, just barely getting by on the high side.
Yeah, that's when the spotter's saying, clear, good job. Boy, Gordon did an incredible job of staying off. Gordon could have panicked, got on the brakes. He could have run into him, but he just did a great job of driving out of that. That's a good example of staying off the brakes. Down to Steve.
Hey, DW, a lot of damage to the rear end of this car. Crew looking in the engine compartment. Brian had a great run early, but tell us what happened.
Just a little impatience, I guess. Got a little loose over the bump there in 3 and 4 and got off from underneath me and just flat lost it.
Can you get back out there?
What's that?
Can you get back in the race?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Daryl, he's talking to the crew right now. We'll let him go to business.
I want to show you, he's talking about the car was loose. I'm going to give you a little graphic here of what that looks like. Here you go. Car goes into the corner. Right through here, the car's down, and all of a sudden, the back end just snaps out from under you. Now watch the hands. Turn left, turn left, turn left. Whoa, whoa. Don't want to do that. That means the back of the car will hit the wall first when the hands are going to the right.
Ryan Newman leading from the pole, and the rookie's car gets loose, slides up, taps the wall, and corrects into it. He may be out of the race. With his Andy Petrie teammate.
Hey, Dick, happy birthday. Dick!
Crash, front straightaway, hard in the wall. Rookie Casey Atwood.
Oh.
You don't win against that concrete.
It don't move. Everything on this track can change, but they never move that wall. It's been there ever since I've been coming here.
This has been a tough race on rookies. Houston in the garage, Newman in the garage. Watch the 19 with the green valance of Atwood.
Comes off the corner, tries to get up in front of the 01 car.
Another rookie.
Not quite enough room. Probably should have possibly given a little bit there this early in the race.
But, Darrell, that was also at a part of the racetrack, coming off the corner, 50 laps on those tires, the car won't want to turn, late exit. The front end's not sticking.
That's where a spotter. They're standing right above the fourth turn, by the way. You'd think that they've been clear.
Darrell, that's a tough place for the spotters because they're looking right in the windshields of those cars, and it's a tough place for them to call whether a driver is clear or not nose to tail.
It's very deceiving, and the other thing is he had the 01 car passed. You would think he would give him the room. It's not his fault. He did nothing wrong, but he could have given him a little more room possibly.
You see the damage on the left front of Jason Lepper, the 01 car. Now, they have to come to pit road and fix that. That will kill the front downforce here. Very important in keeping the front end stuck to the ground. Lap 52, all the leaders to pit road, 4 tires, full of fuel and adjustments.
Here's our 7-Eleven pit stop. There are the 3 leaders. Matt Yoakum.
Today's pit road speed 45 miles per hour as Jeff Gordon enters his pit box. He was reporting in his car was running a little warm, so they were talking about taking a piece of tape about 1 inch off the front of the grill, a 4-tire stop. He was tight at both ends of the racetrack. They went up on the air pressure in the right rear to Nick Bergeron.
Mike Skinner is going to take 4 tires. He's a little bit loose going into turn 1, a bit tight coming off. They're going to try and fix all that with air pressure. But one thing they are most worried about is that the clutch on that race car is a little bit stiff as he leaves pit road.
Big trouble for Jeff Gordon getting out. Kenny Wallace was coming in, and they collided.
Almost put a little mayonnaise on Gordon's grill then.
Wallace at the tail end of the lead lap, entering his pit stall. And there is his car, the yellow car on the right of your screen, just as Jeff Gordon was pulling out, and there's the resultant damage. How will that hurt the car?
Oh, he's got to come back in.
Yes, that will kill the front downforce. Again, front downforce so important here.
Just didn't expect Kenny Wallace to be coming. Thought everybody was in the pits.
And Gordon will definitely have to come in. And Darrell, as a crew chief, I always took it upon my shoulders to let that driver know. Keep it tight. Car coming. Sometimes you just have to say stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, it's a crew chief spotter thing there to get the driver clear and not get in trouble like that. The driver's blind from that coming in. He can't see, so it's up to the guys around him on the pit wall and everything to help him get out.
He's back on pit road. These guys, they'll have plenty of time to try to get that fender straightened out.
And one of the things you got to do is keep these fenders, the left front fender and the right front fender, you got to keep them pulled out as far as you can to get maximum downforce. They actually pull the left one out further than they do the right one.
Working on the right
left front corner down.
Now, you talked about side headrests and all. Everything from there to there is a blind spot for the driver pulling out. Matt?
Robbie Loomis and Tony Gibson working in the right front. It's pushed the right front fender back into the tire. Gordon came on the radio and said, guys, let's just get it fixed. We've got a great race car. Do not let this get us down. And Steve Letarte also underneath trying to get the hood pushed back down. They're going to put tape on that right front. A tough break for this 24 team. As they enter the pits, the leader, still more work on that right front, more tape, trying to bandage up this number 24 Chevy. Tough break for a former Charlotte winner, Mike.
It is a tough break. He's going to have to restart at the rear, obviously, but it's certainly, if it's going to happen, now's the time. It's early in the race. Get it fixed and get back out there and catch back up.
Now, this happened on pit road. He was coming out of his pit as Kenny Wallace was coming in, because we're under caution for Casey Atwood, who cut up track in front of the 01 of another rookie, Jason Leffler. And there's Atwood hard into the wall, bringing out the race's second caution at lap 51.
And Dale Jarrett, the points leader, coming into the race, a rough weekend. Weekend to Dale, this is what it was like. During qualifying, he hit the wall, needed to use a provisional for the first time since being in the 88 car to make the race. Started 37th, but moved his way back up, wearing a special flak jacket for what is believed to be broken ribs. Certainly painful, passing Mark Martin here. And Todd Parrott helping him to close the gap. And now Dale Jarrett has moved.
Hamilton Jr.
That's Hamilton Jr. in the wall.
Turn 4.
He's got all kinds of cars coming at him. Caution is on the speedway.
Harvick gets his lap back from Burton as they come to the line.
Well, he was racing Burton really, really hard. Wouldn't let him go, and it paid off.
If Elliott Sadler in that 21 could have just ran one more lap, he would have a bunch of race cars.
I spent my whole career saying if I could have just run one more lap.
Racing's built on the Yodas. Coulda, woulda, and shoulda.
And iffa.
May not be able to drive it around there. I don't know. We'll see.
That's
Still
Bobby
low.
Hamilton Jr.
That was Andy Petrie, his car owner, talking to him.
Well, it's a good break for Ward Burton, who reassumed the lead. It's a tough break for Elliott Sadler, who had just pitted. And it's a great break for Kevin Harvick, who got his lap back from the leader as they came to the caution.
Now, the reason he's having trouble, 21, having trouble getting into pits, it's so early. I mean, they're so close to the end of pit road. Come down off that racetrack, run 160 miles an hour, and can't get woed up.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Mike Skinner is discussing his car. His biggest problem is he's lost both second and third gear in this car. They're talking about what they might do, whether they're going to pit or not, and if they do, what they're going to do. They're also not happy with the way the car is handling. He's real loose with the automobile. Lots of problems for number 31, Mike Skinner.
Leaders come to pit road, led by Ward Burton, Jimmy Spencer, Bobby Labonte, and Sterling Marlin. Matt?
The 26 car, Jimmy Spencer, comes in, damage right below the left front headlight cover, around the valence area, and some ductwork. A flat left front tire. Jimmy wasn't sure if maybe some debris caught the radiator. As they come around to the left side of the car, the 10 cars in as well. To Steve.
Matt, Ward Burton on pit road. Right side tires have already gone on. Tommy Baldwin was not happy with the last stop. Told his crew, let's have a better stop. Left side tires, trouble on the left front again. Ward Burton blocked in by the 29 of Kevin Harvick, Dick Berggren.
Well, Skinner did come in, and they took one round in the car, and he's out of pit road okay with first. Where he has trouble is going to be second and third gear. Fourth is fine.
45 miles an hour down pit road. And there is Jeff Burton in front of Sterling Marlin. Burton will win the race off pit road. And there up in the wall is Bobby Hamilton Jr. So we're under caution for the fourth time as daylight turns towards darkness at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
You're catching him. You're catching him.
Yeah.
They'd say, if I'm catching him, why is he getting slow?
Yeah, he keeps getting away.
Trouble in turn 1. Is that Presley up in the wall? No, it's Kenny Wallace, and it's Presley.
It's Kenny Wallace in the 27 car. Look at the damage on Robert Presley.
Boy.
Lots of damage. Caution is on the speedway.
You know, we had a couple of cars on pit road there, the 22 and the 93. I wonder if there was some debris on the racetrack or something, because that could be a blown, something happened to the right front tire on that car.
Kenny Wallace picking Up new sponsorship for the rest of the season from the Sauer family business there, and his race appears to have ended in the turn 1 wall. Robert Presley was also involved.
It looks like, looking at Robert's car, he run into the back of Kenny probably when something happened down there. We'll have to take a look at it and see.
What a shame. He'd been running in the top 10 all night, 6th position when this happened. He goes to the garage area.
The Asheville, North Carolina driver pulling it off into the garage, and we'll have to wait for next week at Dover.
So we can see what happened here and get an idea maybe.
Well, that's Kenny up and into the wall.
Kenny up into the wall.
And Robert runs
I think Robert ran into the back of the 92 car.
Stacy Compton could see Kenny Wallace, started checking up. Robert Presley right on him, could not see him.
But it was Wallace who had the trouble to bring out the caution.
All of our leaders will be to pit road, I'm sure, for 4 tires. It's been well over 50 laps since they was on pit road.
Bet that 99 doesn't do 2 tires again.
I wouldn't think so.
7-11 pit split. Labonte at the top, Jeff Burton, and Kevin Harvick shown at the bottom. Matt.
The 18 car, Bobby Labonte, at the top of your screen. He was reporting his car was a little bit tight on the entry to the corner, so they made an air pressure adjustment, half a pound in both front tires, a 4-tire stop of fuel. Let's go to Dick Bergman.
Well, Jeff Burton is in for 4 tires, a little bit of a drink, and a granola bar, which they unwrapped. He has to have that happen, and they just stuffed it through the window. You see?
Well, Kevin Harvick doesn't get any snacks, but he does get 4 brand new tires. No adjustment for the 29 of Kevin Harvick.
Now, under caution, the first lap of caution that the pits are open, only cars on the lead lap are allowed to pit. Everyone else will be in the next time by for their stops.
But it looks like the 99 car, Jeff Burton, that group, the world reigning pit crew champions, they did their job.
There was a close deal, but he beat him off.
So we're under caution for the 5th time this evening as darkness settles in on Lowe's Motor Speedway north of Charlotte, North Carolina. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
And here comes the night at Lowe's Motor Speedway as the sun is setting in Concord, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte, in the Coca-Cola 600. Jeff Burton, currently your leader. Bobby Labonte second. Sterling Marlin third, as the darkness will change the way this race is completed, and we will keep an eye on that for you. Glad to have you along here on this holiday weekend on Fox as we check out the Koch family of drivers. Dale Jarrett, who started 37th, has moved up to 6th. Ricky Rudd had some early problems. Tony Stewart, who finished 6th at the Indy 500, made it here in time to start at the back of the field, had a problem early, but has slowly been inching up. And Bobby Labonte, who is now running 2nd. And we're getting ready to get going again. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum down trackside. Matt?
Chris, Robert Presley's crew has already cut away the front sheet metal. They've already put a radiator in this race car doing some other work. Robert, you just cannot seem to get any good luck.
I'm telling you, it's a shame. We just kind of sitting there riding, trying to keep, the leaders inside. 99-40 was gone. But when you had a good race car, just kind of sitting there, and I guess 27 car blowed up and got in oil, and I'll tell you, we just can't get a break.
Tough break for Robert Presley.
Hoping to get back in this race. A lap that Tony races today, and there
we got trouble. Our leader, Bobby Labonte, the 18 car.
Hang on to it. Turn 2. Now Nadu had taken the lead.
He spins around. He's still going.
In front of you, everyone has pitted. Come on.
Now remember,
caution is on the speedway.
Out. His teammate Tony Stewart spun on lap 2.
Come on. Leader will be getting the yellow. You're fine.
What his spotter's telling him there is the leader just took the caution at the start-finish line. He'll still be on the lead lap. He'll have to come get 4 tires because I'm sure he's ruined these 4 tires. But he was just telling him everything's okay. We're going to be all right.
Yeah, we're going to be okay here. But I think he must have been racing Nadu and trying to get around him. See, they head off in the first turn here. He goes up on the outside. Gets out there. Whoa, she wiggles a little bit with him.
Comes around.
Going to hurt the valence a little bit. They'll have to get that pullback out. But man, is he lucky.
Yes, he
Boys,
is.
I tell you what, it's hard to spin one of those things out and not hit something.
Bobby Labonte has led every race he has run here for Joe Gibbs. That's 13 races.
And I got to believe Joe Center saying, what in the world is going on?
But Bobby Labonte has not won a Winston Cup race since right here last October.
My best ball handler just fumbled the ball. But,
all right, Larry, coach and crew chief, how do you get Bobby Labonte back up on his game?
Well, you get in there and you get him 4 tires and you make sure that front valence is fixed first and foremost. And then you explain to him, Bobby, we've been 2 to 3 tenths quicker than most everybody. We've still got a long way to go.
Jimmy Spencer, coming off turn 2, has brought out the first caution of the day. It comes working lap 12.
He's got a little damage to the nose of the car where he came down off the banking. I can't tell, but I believe he hit the right side of that car. The left rear looks a little skewed to me.
This is coming off turn 2. He's below Jeff Burton in the 99 car.
This is when you get real loose right here, up off the corner. The back end steps out. Click the outside retaining wall. Did a really good job of not having any further damage, but I think he's hurt that car more than it may appear.
He's right here, trying to make the pass on Burton off turn 2.
See, the outside car is just pulling that when it's pulling Spencer around. It takes so much air off of the back of that car when there's somebody right outside of you like that.
You get that loose off too. Very lucky.
Oh yeah.
Spencer was in 12th place.
I had a great run here. You know, he's been running good at this racetrack.
From the Miller Lite cam, there you see the brush with the wall. Matt Yoakum.
And Wayne Jenks having a tough time getting that jack under the left side of the car. 4 flat spotted tires for Jimmy Spencer, and he's down and away.
A couple more pit stops. Mike Skinner is coming in. Bill Elliott.
Trouble over in turn 3.
Is that Rusty up near the wall? Rusty Wallace way up in the loose stuff, and cautions out. He lets the field through because he's going to want pit road.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get down to get to the pit. He knocked the fire out of that thing.
Third caution of the day comes working lap 25.
I believe cool temperatures, overcast conditions, and these tires may be a little harder than these guys are accustomed to is causing a lot of these problems.
And a lot of damage to the right front corner of Wallace.
Watch the caution car, Earl. Get the right sides on it to get this thing going.
Talking to spotter Earl Barbin about where the caution car is so Wallace can get out without losing a lap.
Oh, he gets hooked by the 66 car.
Let's watch from Wallace's onboard.
Yeah, that he got.
You've seen the damage on the left front of the 66 car.
Matt?
Billy Wilburn, the front tire changer, has called for the Sawzall so they can try to cut away some of the damaged front fender. You can see the hood is pushed up. Rusty has shut the engine off. They can't believe the bad luck they are seeing here today.
3 quick cautions. Lap 12, Jimmy Spencer. Lap 16, Kurt Busch. And now lap 25, Rusty Wallace. There you see a little damage to the nose of Todd Bodine's car as Wallace came across his bow.
See a little, yeah, the leaders are on pit road, but Gordon stays out. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, but Johnny Benson, Jeff Gordon stay out. Jeff Burton in the 99. 24 laps into this run. 10 of those have been caution flags, but most of the leaders are on pit road.
I think he just doesn't want to get back in all that traffic. There's a lot of heavy racing going on right now. He wants to stay up here in clean air and out of trouble.
Dick Berggren.
Now Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to come in and get himself a bunch of fresh tires on that car, get himself a load of fuel. Tony Eury Jr. on the front tires. Jeff Clark, Shauna Robinson's husband. He's the guy on the jack, always on the jack, one of the best at it. 4-tire change right in front of him. Mike Skinner has just parked. These are big, wide pits. Junior's got no problem. He's out of here. To Matt.
Ricky Rudd has already left his pit stall, 4 tires and fuel. He said the car was coming to him the longer he progressed in the run.
So Gordon, Benson, and Burton stay on the racetrack.
Yeah, even though caution laps equal like 2 green flag laps, so that was like 10 caution laps equal 20. We're halfway through a fuel run. That's a little iffy staying out there.
I'm surprised by that move.
Now also Jeff Green stayed on the racetrack, but he was in the pits at lap 16, chose not to come back in that AOL number 30 car. So the strategies, they are very diverse here in the early going. at Michigan International Speedway. 25 of 200 laps complete. This is NASCAR on FX.
Getting it better all weekend long.
And I don't know what. Oh,
whoa, there's
Todd down in turn 4.
Now, 2 laps ago, Todd Bodine had slowed coming down the front straightaway as if trying to diagnose a problem. Now he has one.
He hit that wall pretty hard, looks like.
Caution is on the speedway, and remember, he's the one that got in the back of Rusty. Rusty was just talking about Todd Bodine.
Caution at lap 39. Johnny Benson to lead Jeff Gordon back to the flag. No driver has yet been lapped on the racetrack, so there's no battle back to the caution flag.
And just to pick up on Sterling Marlin, I don't know what the rest of the Dodge teams are doing, but I know this cat's got it figured out, and that needs to be their prototype because he's up there every week.
Who does this caution benefit? I know it's 3 of the top 4, but remember, Johnny Benson in the 10, Jeff Gordon in the 24, and Jeff Burton in the 99. We're at lap 40. They were only about a dozen laps away from having to make a green flag stop.
Exactly, and I still have not understood that strategy. Maybe they know something we don't know. Caution felt just about right for them.
See, what happens to Todd Bodine on the right side of your screen?
Now, here he is going down.
Left side of your screen.
Oh, something happened. I think that's
he had a tire.
I think he had a left front tire go
Yes.
down. Probably that fender where he got into the back of Rusty could have rubbed that tire and cut that tire down.
Darrell, I think he got somebody. Isn't there more damage now than there was when he hit Rusty to that left front?
No, I don't.
Perhaps not.
Think there was. There's quite a bit of damage to that fender when he hit Rusty. Caved it in pretty good. I believe that fender rubbed that tire and cut it, and she went down on him.
I think you're right. We're just looking at a different angle here than what we saw previously when it looked like the nose was just barely smushed. Well, that's the 4th caution in only 40 laps of this race.
And makes us look good, doesn't it? We talked about a caution-free race and strategy and all that stuff.
But this race always has a knack. Somewhere about halfway, you'll think a caution never will come again.
That's why these booths have windows, so we can take all our plans and notes and just throw them right out.
But we don't. I always love to say we don't make this stuff up. When they drop that green flag, we never know what's going to happen.
But one call we did make, everybody's on pit road.
Oh yeah, I think they got to come now.
Only car that stayed out was the pace car.
Johnny Benson leads him down pit road. Steve Burns.
Kenny Strader brings the number 36 to pit road. First stop, Mike, they only changed 2 tires. This time, they're going to change 4 tires. He's a little bit tight from the center off to Dick Berggren.
Now Johnny Benson is pitting right in front of Jeff Gordon. Benson had momentarily stalled his car. He's got it going again. Gordon's car is a little bit tight. They're going to try to adjust that, get him to run a little bit better through the turns. To Matt.
A 4-tire stop for the 28 car. Ricky Rudd, as he is down and away. A slight air pressure adjustment. His car was a little bit too loose at the beginning of the run.
Long stop for Benson. Dale Earnhardt Jr. beat everybody off pit road by a mile.
And the reason he did, remember, he was on pit road at lap 24. They've only ran 13 laps. Gas and go.
No tires.
No tires.
And that's what's making some of these guys, I think there's some 2-tire deals or some no-tire deals. That's making them look like they got slow stops when they do 4 tires.
Strategy, capital S, comes into play, and it will all day. Well, as they say in Motown, the hits just keep on coming. 4 of them so far.
NASCAR on FX is brought to you by Chevy. We'll be there.
Attention Kmart shoppers, we have a caution flag on aisle 3. This is Jimmy Spencer on turn 2 having some problems spinning out, and then Kurt Busch having some problems on lap 17. In the Sharpie car.
That's straight away. We see Rusty Wallace got together with Todd Bodine and sent him into the wall. He's trying to repair his car. Then Todd Bodine actually cut down the left front, it appeared, and got into turn 2 wall.
At this race here in Michigan, suit or driver's outfit, she said, no, just I want to wear what the usual driver would wear.
She is very, very conscious of the fact that she wants to, 21 car looks like he's lost a left front tire also.
As we shift gears here, Elliott Sadler with some problems here, and we have a caution on the speedway. Let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy and the guys.
And, you know, guys, I was talking yesterday about tire temperatures, and a lot of the teams were telling me that the left front tire, for some odd reason, was a lot hotter than any other tire on the car, which is totally unusual, Larry. I think you can agree. Normally, the left front's the coolest one.
Well, it is, but remember, especially harder right side tire makes those old left side tires work a little harder.
Plus, then some of the guys told me they were sucking that corner down with a lot of fender and a lot of rebound in the shock, so that may have something to do with it, too, trying to keep that nose down on the left side.
Puts us under the 5th caution of the afternoon here at lap 81. We're just 19 laps from halfway. And the skies to the west have lightened somewhat. I mean, we're not going to call this a sunny day. But, but not the dark storm clouds we had a bit ago.
We'll get this race in easy. We're running an average speed of 130 miles an hour. Let's see if we can tell what happened here to the 21 car. We're going to look at it here in a minute. They're still cranking it up for us. Here you go. There he's down in the corner. See the smoke already coming out from under the car. It's a left front tire that's...
Boy, Bobby Labonte had to cut to the bottom.
Well, that's a lot of damage. It almost looks like, I mean, the left front tire blowing out, I guess it could do that much damage to the front of the car, but I'm surprised how much damage is done to the nose.
Darrell, the skid marks from that start just about 300 feet past the start-finish line.
Shauna's around.
The room behind the 28 if you need it.
Everybody's going to get past.
Caution is on the speedway, even though she's got it straight. They're telling them race it back to the caution. We'll get a restart here, but they're going to bring it back to the caution. The battle's going to be for second between Ricky Rudd and Sterling Marlin.
And here come all those lap-down cars, but none of them will get close enough. Close for second place at the line.
Rudd got it by an inch.
And it was close for fourth.
Rudd beat the fire. He beat the heck out of him. He beat him by an inch.
And Blaney beat Jeremy Mayfield back for fourth.
I believe that's the 7th caution of the day, and it's for Shauna Robinson.
Once we get caught up, then we'll come in and get 4 tires.
I don't think she hit anything. Just spun that thing around down there.
Now, let me go back to the historic fact on women in Winston Cup racing. Back in the early days of NASCAR, about the only records that were kept were the car number, the driver's name, the number of laps completed, and the payoff. And even who they drove for, who owned the car, those records weren't kept in the early days. So a little bit of confusion how many women have competed in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, either 14 or 15 as of today.
Well, she's done a good job. She stayed out of trouble up until now. See if we can tell what happened here.
From the Briggs and Stratton on board.
Got loose. Oh, yeah. I just think she was trying a little too hard. Maybe drove it off in there, and round she went. May have been a little stage out there from the accident.
We have seen so many cars get loose on the throttle off turn 2 today. Several accidents there, especially in the early part of the race.
You know, she's running 34th. That's
all right, we got
a pretty good day's work.
Pretty good effort.
And she's only 3 laps down.
5 on everything right.
All right, looks like 1 to go coming here.
Yeah, Gordon's just too strong on these restarts. I watch him every time, and he really goes.
You see the flagman holding 1 finger down. That's, again, a down finger restart. Under 10 laps to go, single file, only lead lap cars to the front, everybody else behind them, and those guys cannot mix their position back there. If you're 20 laps down and you're in front of a car that's 1 lap down, you can't let him by you.
Performance of the day, as far as I'm concerned, is Hut Strickland as you watch the pit stop on Shauna Robinson. For Junie Donlavey, Strickland's been on the lead lap all day. He's in 7th place.
7th place. What a great run for him. And I think Felipe Lopez can take a lot of pride in that performance, because ever since he's been over there, they have run a lot better.
The last top 10 for this car, August of 1999, 9th right here.
If you look down to our left there, all that smoke you see down there, that haze is Felipe Lopez.
He smoked him some cigarettes today, didn't he?
Good run for Hunt.
Last time by is now on their rear bumper. Now, has Dale Jr. got too big a lead? When they get lined up, they got trouble here. Andy Houston in the wall, cautions out. That's off turn 4. Grinding to a stop. Houston led the race earlier. See him moving around in the car, dropping the window net. That's his signal to the safety officials that he's okay.
I think you'll see a lot more aggressive changes, Benny, now that we're under caution. Everybody comes in at the same time. We may even see some spring rubbers being put in these cars.
And what this also does with the caution at lap 87, it takes the pit deficiency, the fuel mileage deficiency that Dale Earnhardt Jr. had, out of the equation for now. If the race runs green from this set of stops, we'll see under the yellow to the finish, everybody's going to have to stop twice more. So if you're a Dale Jr. fan, this is a plus for you. This is big. This really is big. Andy Houston, this is the low end of what has been a good week so far for him. His wife Lori gave birth to a new son on Monday of this week. He led the race earlier. Now he ended up in the outside wall.
He broke something, cut a right front tire, Benny?
Yeah, the right front tire went flat on the car for some reason. And when that happens, the car just veers right, and there's nothing the driver can do. But you know one thing, he was very fortunate. He was running close to the wall.
I was just going to say that. That's the best place to be if you're going to cut a right front tire.
Look at that passenger side window the cars carry here at Daytona. You see that go flying out of the car when he hit the wall? It just popped that right out. He hit so hard. And there's Andy out of the car.
I've got a question, Benny. If these guys were loose, do you think they maybe they've increased the right front air pressure, maybe got too much heat in it?
Could very possible done that, yes. If you add air pressure to the right front tire, that will help the loose situation.
We'll see everybody come on to pit road at lap number 89. And this caution flag, probably a big break for some of those drivers that had gotten shaken out of the draft, like, well, Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart. Casey Atwood were pretty well back, but it's a horrible break for Ricky Craven and Bill Elliott and those drivers who got overtaken by the leaders and didn't get a chance to maybe get it back on a cycle of green flag stops. They're trapped a lap down.
Here come a large pack of front runners. Trouble off the corner.
31.
Several cars involved. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sterling Marlin, Mike Skinner, Jeff Gordon's in it, Bobby Hamilton. Kurt Busch is in the crash. Dale Jarrett takes to the pit road. Terry Labonte's involved. Caution's out.
I didn't see it, but it looked like some guys were trying to get in the pits, and it just stacked up.
See some damage to the right front of Kevin Harvick's car. Not a lot of damage, but damage.
Oh.
A lot of damage to that automobile.
Ran so well earlier in the night. There's Skinner up against the fence.
Mike's moving around. Looks like he's okay.
Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick took their cars straight to pit road. But it all happened behind Dale Earnhardt Jr.
There's Bobby Hamilton trying to push his car backwards down pit road.
That car will go behind the wall. We talked about the big wreck. This one happened in a way we didn't expect.
A lot of damage to Terry Labonte's car.
All right, let's see if we can sort this one out.
All right, here they're coming off the corner. And I think there's going to be contact right there. Skinner and Kurt Busch get together. Turn Skinner into the wall head on. Labonte has no place to go. Neither does Bobby Hamilton when Skinner comes back across the racetrack. Now there's no place for anybody to go.
Who was that just snuck by? Nemechek.
Nemechek, yeah.
And
John Andretti.
Dave Marcus gets down on the grass and somehow saves it.
He's almost as good as you.
I know.
And you know what? The 7 car was slowing down, coming in the pits. 31 checked up, 97 ran into him.
Yep.
Shot right across in front of Terry Labonte. Watch the back of this. Dale Jarrett, top right of your screen, going to come through the smoke, head for pit road.
Looked a lot of wrecking going on there, Dale. I'd be careful on pit road if I were you. The racetrack looked to be the safest place. You ever see Kurt Busch right on the back bumper, and Mike Wallace goes toward pit road. There's the contact. Skinner gets turned, and man, Terry Labonte says, oh no.
Is that Mark Martin piling in there? Mark has continued driving around, but his chance at that $1 million bonus appears to have taken a little bit of a hit there if the damage is significant on his car. Was that Mark's car?
Another shot.
Get a better look at it here.
And it just doesn't take much. I mean, you know, Mike saw the 7 car coming in the pits. He rolled out the throttle a little bit. Busch couldn't see what was going on. It just doesn't take much.
There we saw the contact with Jeff Gordon. Listen to this, folks.
you can do on that. You're all those guys behind and nowhere to go. They're up there minding their own business. And
Sterling Marlin.
That hurts. That's going to leave a mark.
Oh, man, I felt that. Did you feel that?
I did feel that. That's because you hit me when it happened. Ricky Rudd's lucky man.
Jeff Gordon, let's see him down there. He makes contact with Sterling Marlin. And the 97 car makes contact with Jeff. He goes down through the grass.
I mean, Nemechek.
Look at Joe Nemechek. Pit road is closed because a number of the cars involved in the accident crashing down onto the pit entry. They want to make sure they've got all the metal picked up and other debris. So we'll take a break, come back for the caution flag pit stops in just a moment. Only 16 laps to go in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona.
Welcome back to Daytona. Pit stops that could decide the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader, is in. Much debate about 2 or 4 tires. They decided to go the safe route with 4 tires, and they will still win the race off pit road, barely beating Mike Wallace.
Nice job, guys.
See what NASCAR has to say about that. You see that white line right in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s pit. All he has to do is bump the clutch and get the car across that line.
That was close.
And that locks in his position in the pit exit order. So we'll see where they position people from that.
I don't know if the 7 took 4 or 2 tires on that stop.
Had to be 2.
Yeah.
Had to be 2.
Yeah. And 4 tires, that's the right move.
Jeff Gordon still getting attention. One of the 7 cars involved in the wreck just a moment ago off turn 4.
Kevin Harvick, we saw the damage on the right front. They're trying to put a piece of aluminum over that.
Now, let's see. Look at the white line coming out of pit road off the pit stops. That line. Who got there first?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. Could you, Benny?
Nope. Up for NASCAR to decide. That's why they get the big bucks.
So Mike Wallace, for now, defending his position in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the track, but Jr. trying to drop the hint that he thinks maybe he got out first. Seen this on many, well now.
Yeah, he was just told.
He was told by his team. I didn't hear NASCAR tell him.
Here comes Mike back.
I didn't hear NASCAR. But the big winners in all this are the orange car and the green car right there. Bobby Labonte in the green car and Tony Stewart in the orange machine.
They have made their pit stop. They just changed 2 tires, but they have that track position they've been looking for all night long.
Here are the cars involved in the crash. Adding Jason Leffler to the list that we gave you earlier. Mark Martin, one of the No Bull 5 drivers with the shot at the $1 million bonus tonight. All triggered with Kurt Busch into the back of Mike Skinner as Mike Wallace slowed to get to pit road. Dave Burns.
Well, and Alan, Sterling Marlin is helping orchestrate whatever fixes they might make here. Sterling, do you think you can make fixes at all here and get back in?
I don't know, broke something on the steering. I didn't have any steering and couldn't turn left. Something's broke somewhere. But I hate to follow Coors Light, guys. We had a pretty good car, just tight and loose at times. I don't know what happened. Somebody got in somebody.
What was the first reaction you had? Did your spotter didn't even have time to tell anything, did you?
No, it looked to me like Skinner cut somebody off to get in the pits and turned him sideways and wasn't nowhere for us to go. But that's what you get with these rules. Everybody's on top of each other. And I pray the good Lord they change these rules because you can't race.
All right, strong opinion from Sterling Marlin on the aerodynamic rules that they have in the cars here, as well as the restrictor plate racing. Alan?
Sterling Marlin 5th in the championship coming into this race. He'll take a big hit in points tonight. 14 laps to go at Daytona.
Together with Brett Bodine.
Trouble over the tunnel.
On the racetrack.
Over the tunnel. Lots of cars everywhere. Big wreck.
Brett Bodine, Jason Leffler, Steve Park.
That's what happens over that tunnel.
Matt Kenseth, John Andretti, damage. Ward Burton's the car stopped in the middle of the racetrack.
Well, once a car gets sideways over that tunnel, it just blocks the whole racetrack. Can't see. You come into that turn kind of blinded anyway.
Well, lots of damage to the front end rear of Ward Burton's car. They'll have to get that front end fixed. He wouldn't even be able to keep up the speed out here on this fast racetrack.
It's hard to tell who all got serious damage. Certainly the 77 has a lot of damage on it.
Robert Presley.
22 car, Burton.
Got Subway on that car. Potentially a sponsor for this car in the future.
Jerry Nadeau.
And
there's damage. And Steve Park pretty torn up. Brett Bodine also.
In the 11 car. Brett having a great run here.
Oh, goodness.
John Andretti.
The 43. Let's see if we can see what happened. Ollie Dallenbach's got some damage, or some damage on the 10 car.
Johnny Benson.
Lots of cars involved. See if we can see what happened here. We're coming across the tunnel. Brett Bodine gets sideways, smokes up the tires. Nobody can see where they're going. They don't know where he's going. They're into the smoke.
They start stacking up.
And you see right now what the driver sees. Nothing. He's in that smoke. He doesn't know where the cars are. He's trying to get the spotter to talk to him.
Steve Park hard into the guardrail on the inside in the 1 car.
Here we come, and the 11 car just gets loose over the tunnel turn. There happens a lot. Stays in the throttle, smoking the rear tire, spinning around, and of course every time he goes around, he's just making more smoke and blocking the racetrack.
And Darrell, that's such a fast corner. You're carrying so much speed, you're just barely off the throttle.
Steve Park is the car right behind Brett Bodine. From Johnny Benson of Valvoline Pontiac.
And with that much smoke, spotter way up on the front straightaway can't do you a whole lot of good.
No, I can't tell you what the feel. You know, I've said through the years, I feel like the tunnel turn at Pocono is one of the most dangerous turns in racing, because you're down that straightaway at 190 miles an hour. That's a 90-degree turn. It's blind when you come around there, and if something happens, you don't have anywhere to go.
You saw where Michael bounced across the roads of the infield. That's the entrance to the infield road course.
Yeah, here's Michael's car right here. You can see him out the back of the 77.
Oh, and he got with Benson.
Of course, you see these cars going through this grass.
I'm over here cutting grass, but I'm all right.
And the grass is wet. It's rained here for the last 24 hours, and you can't get no traction.
Now, here comes the 1 car down pit road. He's got lots of damage.
A little bit there on Bill Elliott's nose.
Elliott.
At least 11 cars are involved on this crash at lap 54. Coming over the tunnel turn, it all happens behind the leaders, and we'll be right back to Pocono after this.
The flamethrower.
14 cars in all received some kind of damage in that accident. Ward Burton, Robert Presley, Brett Bodine. There's John Andretti being pushed back. His teammate Buckshot Jones was also in it. Jerry Nadeau, Steve Park. In fact, there's a whole list. 14 cars in all received some kind of damage when Brett Bodine's car went sideways coming out of turn number 2.
Let's see if we can see anything. We got some good shots here. Let's see if we can see anything that happens to Bodine's car. He's back there in the turn. See him back there with Park right on him. I'm thinking that might have loosened him up. Going around. Maybe Dick Bergen, you down in his pits, what are they saying?
Well, it's what Bill Elliott said, Darrell, and Bill Elliott keyed the radio and told his crew that he thought a left rear tire went down on Brett Bodine's car. There has been radio conversation today about debris on the racetrack, and that may have cut that left rear tire. Now, Brett Bodine has finished 20 races in a row. That's more than anybody else in Winston Cup, and so Mike Hillman and the rest of the gang are hard at work at this car. That's a record they don't want to spoil. This guy starts a race, he intends to finish it. They're going to have a lot of work. The hood is broken, radiator is broken. Hillman is going to have to replace that. A lot of sheet metal damage here. Brett sits behind the wheel, window net up, because he does not want to talk to anybody right now.
Well, he had a little casual contact on pit road with Dale Jr., but that's a little more than casual there. That may be casualty. Got a couple of casualties down in the Hollywood Hotel. What you guys doing?
Well, Darrell, we're just taking
right here. He'll hang tough and it'll work. And we got a crash right there with the 44 car.
Buckshot Jones. And that's like Jason Leffler, who was involved in that earlier 14-car wreck.
Both of those cars were involved in the early one, and that will bring us under caution.
And again, over the tunnel turn, Mike. I think it must be getting slicker and slicker over there, which it does.
These cars were battling for 30th position, still on the lead lap.
Actually, that's how the turn went. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong picture.
Fifth caution of the day, lap 78. Buckshot Jones and Jason Leffler, and Buckshot took a hard hit straight on into that inside wall at the tail end.
But I know for sure that Buckshot wears the Hans device. Been wearing it now for a couple of months.
Boy, I'm glad, too, because that's one of those direct hit-on licks.
Talked at length Friday with Bobby Hutchins, the Richard Childress team engineer that also has a restraint device that he's worked on, the Hutchins device, and that will be commercially available beginning Monday to short track and road racers and other folks interested, as well as the Hans device.
We did see the net come down on Buckshot Jones's car.
Ooh. Boy, Leffler just drove right up into the side of Buckshot. And watch this.
Ooh, wow.
And it's not over.
And the thing about Leffler's car, he already had damage, and that probably just didn't, the car probably took off on him, Larry.
But you know what I like about the shot that Buckshot took? That's guardrail. It gives a little bit. That concrete don't move.
Yeah, that's true. But watch this. I think this is just for aero push. The car got up there, and he didn't have the downforce that he needed to make the front stick.
Step high.
Man, and he just drove right into the...
Good job, bud. Good job. No yelling yet.
Drove right into the side of Buckshot. That's unfortunate. Two young guys there, both trying to make a name for themselves in the Winston Cup Series. I haven't seen either driver get out, have you?
I saw the net drop down on Buckshot Jones's car. He dropped it down on his own. See the net down on Jason Leffler's car as well.
And that is a signal to rescue workers that I'm okay. I'm conscious and I'm okay. When they drop that window net, that's a signal that I'm okay and we're going to get out of here all right.
And everybody's on pit road, all the leaders here at lap 79. There you see Buckshot Jones. He'll do the mandatory ride to the infield care center just to be checked out.
Our 7-Eleven triple pit split. Dick Berggren.
Ricky Rudd on pit road right now, going to try to adjust the car, add some wedge to it. He says that the thing is just a little bit too sensitive. He can't use all the throttle he wants. To Matt.
Todd Gantz ordered around to the left front. They made an air pressure adjustment in the right rear, up half a pound. He said his car was just still a little bit loose when cars were behind him, but he was all right by himself.
Gordon beats him out again.
Consistency.
I like that pit that Gordon's got, Darrell. These pits are big, and he's right there about lap pit 9. And remember, speed limit is checked by lines on pit road. When he leaves his pit, he can run wide open. He cannot get caught speeding. You can't get up to 55 miles an hour.
Good point, man. Show these lines.
These are the lines.
These are the
this
timing
is
lines.
where they clock, right here. Jeff Gordon's pitting right in here somewhere. When he leaves, he's wide open. If you're back up here somewhere, you've got to watch your speed all the way through here because every one of these segments is where they clock you. I like the pit he's got. And it just goes forever. Pit road's about a half the length of the front straightaway, 55 miles an hour. But again, I like that pit selection.
Yeah, this is the longest straightaway. These is probably the longest pits.
You see all of these lines? That's how NASCAR clocks the cars, is they know how running 55 miles an hour, the length it should take you to get through each segment. If you're faster, you're caught speeding on pit road.
If they'd had lights, we could have landed here last night coming back from Pocono.
We could have. I'm sure people have at one time or another.
And here's Jason Leffler climbing out of his car. And good to see that he is okay. Took a while to get the safety gear unhooked.
Man, where's he running off to? Is he going to... I think he's trying to get over where Buckshot is. Maybe he left his helmet on. That might have been a smart move. You get in an ambulance with somebody you run over, I think it'd be wise to leave your helmet on.
That could be a long ride to the infield care center.
80 laps, 200 miles complete in the Pocono 500.
The lead changes, 35 cars on the lead lap, and among those cautions, some spectacular crashes so far, as you saw Jason Leffler and Buckshot Jones walk away moments ago. And there is a look at some of the wreckage as they take care of their cars. And this is not a summer rerun, this race. Michigan, Dover, Jeff Gordon, the way he has been dominating.
All right, thanks, Mike. Buckshot, are you okay? Tell us about your race car.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't running as good as we needed to be, but we were just making changes, trying to bide our time, and just coming up off turn one was a little bit tight. It kind of got to the wall and got a little bit loose. No one got in the back of us. I think it's just a pure racing deal. You know, I hate it for us. First time we've been here, but I thought maybe we could come out and have a pretty good finish.
All right, thanks, Buckshot. Dale Jarrett making a move to the lead.
Down. Reporter Jim Huber to our TNT NASCAR broadcast team. And Jim, you have the story of another son that lost his life here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. Thank you very much. You know, we come here to Loudon with an ache in the pit of our stomachs. For of the 3 drivers who died racing a year ago, 2 of them lost their lives on this very track, New Hampshire International Speedway. One just hours preceding this very race. And if NASCAR mourned the death of Kenny Irwin, you can imagine how his family handled the tragedy for the last 12 months. They're still not handling it very well. I had a chance to spend some time recently with Kenny Sr. to talk about his namesake and his only son.
And me come from my father, and so I decided if I had a boy that he would do what I always wanted to do. We raced since he was 5 years old. We started racing. Because I knew that he was probably going to kick my butt, but it must have been about 9:15, and I got a call from his attorney, which was his business manager, and he told me that Kenny just had a very bad accident, and he was crying on the phone. And he said Kenny didn't make it. There'll never be a more disappointing day in my life than that day was.
Kyle and Patty were there
Kyle
immediately.
and Patty were an instrument, an absolute instrument. Kyle called me that night or the next morning, and he come over to the house and stayed there a couple hours and come to the funeral. Three girls and my wife. We very much believe in the Lord. We feel that Kenny believed in the Lord as well as we did. And he told, my wife can hardly watch a race. She goes to the track, but she can hardly watch the car go around. And Kenny told her one day, he says, listen, Mom, if something happens to me, I know where I'm going. I'm going to heaven.
Kenny Sr. and his wife Reva have learned a lot about their son in the weeks and months following his death. They found out, in fact, that he had a philanthropic side to him that they didn't know much about. They found families across America that he was helping financially that they didn't know about. Families with children in desperate need of help because of medical emergencies. And so, with that in mind, and in tribute to their son, they've started the Kenny Irwin Foundation. They're going to buy land and build cabins and a ranch and bring disadvantaged children to that ranch in the summertime as a tribute. And I can't think of a better one for him, Bill.
Neither can I. Tony Stewart won that race 1 year ago and presented the trophy to Kenny Irwin Sr.
They were close growing up. They raced against each other.
Jim, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
We'll continue from the New Hampshire International Speedway in just a moment. Stay with us here on TNT.
Oh, we got a crash down in turn 1. Joe Nemechek, is that?
Elliott Sadler is involved in it. That's Elliott. And Nemechek, the other car. Caution's out. There's Joe. First yellow coming out as the field completes the 5th lap of the New England 300.
Nemechek gets his car started and tries to drive away, but the field will go by and put him a lap down. A lot of damage to the left side of his automobile.
Chances are, when we go back and look at the replays on this, it will be two people both trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack entering the corner. And both trying to do it at the same place.
Oh, yeah, you get, well, first of all, you got 3 abreast going down into turn 1. That's not going to work. So.
And Elliott goes up and makes contact with the wall, as does the 33 of Joe Nemechek.
Kyle Petty in the 45 was the man on the outside there.
And
look at Dave Blaney.
3 on there, too.
They're trying to make it 4 abreast going down in the corner.
Blaney, it looked like he might have caught the back of Elliott's car as Elliott jammed on the brakes, but that just wasn't going to work. So the Wood Brothers car to the garage. And Joe Nemechek will no doubt take Andy Petrie's car back there for repairs as well. Under caution early in the New England 300. Jeff Gordon is the leader. We're back to New Hampshire after this.
And is he running? And they told him, and Bobby started to pick up positions.
Caution out. Johnny Benson is in trouble. He has gotten into the wall with the right side of his car in turn 1 while running in the 11th spot.
That's a tough break because Johnny had a really good car.
Well, he really did. That is so tough.
Oh, and there's some pretty big damage there, too. Look at the rear end housing. See how much gap there is between that right side fender and rear end? That means it's probably been moved over to the left a little bit.
And I was talking about taking care of the front fenders because of downforce, and that right front tire is just going to knock that right front fender off probably before he can get back in. And there's Benson. He goes in the corner. It's almost like the tire might have gone flat, or maybe the brakes didn't work properly. I don't know.
A talk with Johnny this morning. He had high hopes for a good run today. Got a car in trouble in turn 2. It's Jeremy Mayfield. Caution is out. Bill, what happened?
Blew a tire, Alan. I can't see it from down here because we were actually looking to work with this team because they had a problem with the right front on the previous run. Jeremy on the radio blew a tire.
It looks exactly like Johnny Benson's front tire. I wonder if these guys are using the brakes so much that they're melting the bead. I wonder if they're melting the bead on that front tire with the brakes. So much temperature.
Explain what the bead is on a tire.
Where it mounts to the rim. And the brakes is right there by that bead on the rim, and sometimes it gets so hot it just melts the rubber.
And that right front is going to be the hottest spot on that car when it comes to brakes. The rotor, the brakes, the caliper, that's the hottest point of that race car. So you could be right, Benny.
Pit stop's going to happen here about 30 laps after they did last time. So let's see what we get for leaders coming in and tire strategies and so on. Bill?
Well, first of all, Jeremy Mayfield has made it back to pit road. Obviously wanted to get here as quickly as possible. Has right front damage, getting right side tires. They're going to have to beat the sheet metal away. Talking to his crew. Can't get that tire off the car, basically because of the impact. So the lug nuts are snug on there, trying to loosen them, using a hammer, everything they can just to try and break it free to grab that tire, get it off of there. So trouble for the crew on pit road. Now they've got another hammer. Jeremy sits there very frustrated. What had happened earlier in the race, they now have the tire off, was the car was just sliding up the track. It wasn't tight, it wasn't loose. It was almost like a full four-wheel slide up the track, especially in 1 and 2. He actually took a chunk out of his right front tire on the previous run. This tire hadn't been on there very long. Now they've got 4 fresh tires and fuel to pull the sheet metal away. Already have lost at least 1 lap. May lose more here sitting on pit road. So disappointment early for Jeremy Mayfield.
Here's another look at what happened to Jeremy Mayfield down in turn 1.
It looks like Johnny Benson all over again. It's almost exactly the same thing.
And in fact, we did get a report a minute ago from Benson's team that it was a cut right front tire that caused his impact earlier. We talked that it was a very warm day, exceptionally warm for northern New England today. And what kind of impact would the heat have on the race? You're talking brake heat related to the outside air. We'll explore the story more when we come back to New Hampshire. Back in New Hampshire, it's happened again. Dave Blaney in trouble in turn 1.
The third time in exactly the same picture. 3 different cars, a Pontiac, a Ford, and a Dodge with a right front tire going flat on these guys.
Now, I'm a driver, and I'm getting a little bit concerned. 1 happens, 2 happens, but I know that 3 cars have blown tires down, hit the wall, so that's going to start playing on all these guys' minds right now.
Do you know that, though?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, they've all crashed at the same place, so you know that. And usually you're asking the crew chief what's going on, and he'll say, hey, we're cutting down some right fronts. We got to make an adjustment to a right front tire pressure or be easy on the brakes, but they're going to let you know that there's a problem out there. If that's what happened, we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit. That looks like what happened.
Let's take a look. Now, with the way the skid marks go up the racetrack, it'd be a pretty telltale sign.
Sure looks that way.
So Dave Blaney is the 3rd driver to have problems. Johnny Benson and Jeremy Mayfield, the other 2 who went up the hill in the same way in turn number 1. So the caution saves the leaders from having to make green flag pit stops. And at lap number 100,
a little bit better than both these guys when it gets down toward.
Oh, we got Warburton going around.
Turn 2.
Keep it up there, keep it up there, keep it high. No caution's out, guys. Caution's out. 29 got into the rear of us.
Excess fuel in the exhaust pipes, trying to get the car refired. Too late.
And he's too late.
Lost a lap.
No, he shouldn't have lost a lap.
There we see the 29 car, Kevin Harvick, and we heard the spotter say the 29 got in the back of the 22, just touched him a little bit. Ward never could catch it. Around he goes. But luckily, he did not hit anything, and no one hit him. But he did lose a lap. And that's the worst news he could have.
Take a look at it from Kevin Harvick's onboard camera.
I don't understand that one.
Any law enforcement officer would cite you for an accident from behind. You would be at fault. Harvick on pit road along with all the other leaders. Stops at lap 155. Matt?
Kevin Harvick's car is already in. They are going around to the left side. This will be a 4-tire stop for Kevin Harvick. He came on the radio and said he did not need to do it. He just all of a sudden stopped right in front of him as Harvick is down and away to Bill Weber.
Jeff Burton's on pit road. It's been an adventure all day. That time it was a chassis adjustment and 4 tires. An old drag race. Michael Waltrip off of pit road, but they had an alternator problem earlier. Jeff brushed the wall, may have bent a wheel, had a vibration. That was just before the previous caution. He is working harder than anybody and really doesn't have a lot to show for it yet.
Okay, BP, chastise me.
All the leaders did not pit. Some of the leaders pitted, but all the leaders did not pit.
Top 5 stayed on the racetrack. We'll come back to New Hampshire next. He's American.
And he's exactly where they thought he'd be.
Got a spin on the backstretch. It's Ron Hornaday in trouble into the infield grass inside turn 3. Caution's out.
Looks like all the tires are up.
Hornaday was running 18th on the lead lap.
A lot of damage to the left front tire.
It's on the road course part of the track that's inside the oval.
All right, guys, 4 tires of fuel, fix whatever damage we got to fix.
For the motorcycles and the sports cars and go-karts run here at New Hampshire. What happened to Ron Hornaday?
Oh, I see. He brushes the wall on the backstretch. He climbs the wall.
Whoa!
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Stacy Compton, the other car involved.
I didn't think you could do that.
Man, oh, look at Mike Wallace just barely miss him as he goes across. I didn't even realize he had damage to the right side.
He was close to getting over on his head.
Man,
upside down.
He just got squeezed up on that wall, and it just caught just enough for him to drive up the side of that wall. Joey Chitwood style right there. Everybody did a good job, too, to get through that.
And that is Mike Wallace in the 7 car. Yeah, that is unbelievable.
We have an onboard camera with Ron Hornaday. This ought to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about 18 degrees banking on the racetrack. There he goes by the 45 car, Kyle Petty. Now listen to this and watch. He never backed off. He was climbing the wall still.
Hey guys, the caution's gonna be out. 92 wrote us up at fence.
Nice play-by-play by the spotter. Wow. Ooh, Jeff Burton's look. Hornaday on pit road getting some repairs made to A.J. Foyt's Pontiac. We're back to New Hampshire after this. Still under caution here at New Hampshire International Speedway. The evidence is in. Watch the skid marks. Up, up, and away.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
It's not that ugly. I mean, I've seen you do that on the way back to the hotel in the Merrill car.
Oh, no. Watch this. The green car on the outside. Hornaday up on that wall. He doesn't back off. He just keeps nailing that thing and climbs the wall. Finally, he has no choice but back off.
Back to the restart in just a minute at New Hampshire. Happened up in turn 1 a minute ago.
Man, he just nails the gas. I guess that's Bobby Labonte in the middle of all that smoke. He nails it to do a 360 and just renders the racetrack blind.
Oh, this ought to be fun looking.
Still there.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Now, come on down. Come on down. Clear, clear.
Michael Waltrip has been on and off pit road serving a penalty. Robert Presley's got troubles.
Got a left front tire down.
Coming inside. Low, 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 low. All right.
Which is probably, maybe, from contact earlier with somebody. That's usually what happens when the left front blows. Now it's really going to start tearing stuff up when it starts coming apart.
It's too bad that Robert could not have made the entrance to pit road and got down and changed the left front tire because it's going to tear some stuff up before he gets back.
He was on the lead lap in the top 20. And it's making a mess out of that race.
To the bottom, you're clear to the bottom. Gas, no gas. No gas, pick up the car, no gas. Get back, no gas, pick up the car.
That's Ryan Pemberton.
Get under there.
Then you got to pick the car up because it's going to be very low with that flat tire, and don't put any gas in the car.
Caution's out. Debris from Robert Presley's car.
He needs to go right on through. Oh, that may be a speeding penalty.
Doesn't matter. He had to beat the leader to the end of pit road. Remember the Pocono race in June when Rusty Wallace got caught a lap down? Robert had to go and beat the leader to that mark on the outside wall before that stop, that go paddle turned to stop.
At least the tire isn't rolling now, so it's not tearing anything up. Unfortunately, I don't know if they'll be able to get the tire off because the tire itself is kind of wrapped around the...
Left side tires only. Do not speed, 4,800, 4,800.
All right, pit road's going to be open this time. The pace car is in front of the field. As Robert comes in, they're going to have to hurry to beat that stop-and-go paddle.
It wasn't open for Robert.
Yeah, but it is for the leaders.
It will be for the leaders, any of them that choose to pit.
Oh, it's going to be close.
And if he's smart, he'll speed down pit road again just to make sure that he beats the pace car to that mark. See, look on the left side wall. It's a little bit flush to pick it up. There's a mark on the outside wall. When the pace car gets to that, see the paddle? He just turned it over. The man
won by none other than Mike Fat McSwain. He raced against Ricky Rudd, Steve Park, Kurt Busch, and McSwain won the race. That's not the impressive part. The impressive part was that he came from 3 laps down, and there's a crash on the racetrack.
Elliott Sadler turned around, and you saw Michael McSwain shake his head and say, darn, he did not want to see this caution. Boy, that's a hard impact for Elliott Sadler.
And at 19, and Casey Atwood got his lap back.
So second accident of the day for Elliott.
Tell you what, there's a lot of damage to that automobile.
Yes, sir. He was involved in a crash back at lap 5 with Joe Nemechek in turn 1.
Roof looks okay.
Yeah, the roof is okay.
There's where the 19, that's a big boost right there for a 19 car.
Let's see if we can take a look at what happened to Elliott Sadler. This is from Ron Hornaday's car.
He just got loose. That's all there was to it.
Wow.
He hit hard too. Oh, and again.
He hit the outside wall hard, came across, hit the inside wall hard.
28 laps to go. We'll come right back. Elliott Sadler involved in a hard crash here at New Hampshire International Speedway, somewhat gingerly getting out of his battered Ford.
You remember I was talking earlier about, see what as it's happening here. He just lost it, but you know, he's out there, he's 100 laps down, and he's out there running a car that's been wrecked once, and he's still running halfway fast. And you take a lick like that with less, I think, less protection because you got less metal around you to cushion that blow. It's just no fun. That's driver's side too.
That's driver's side. That's right.
And it just goes to show you that when you're the team and your car's been in an accident, you're trying to make those repairs to get it back out and rejoin the race. You've got to make sure everything's buttoned up because it can happen again. Right. The driver needs all that protection he can get. Cleanup continues. 25 laps to go. We'll come back to New Hampshire in a moment. Ricky Rudd leads the New England 300. Looking underneath Jeff Gordon.
We got trouble on the backstretch.
Todd Bodine, the flying 360. No caution. Bodine was 6th.
And Dale Jarrett's going to be second in just about one straightaway.
Listen to the roar from that crowd.
That was from Ricky Rudd.
Good job, man. Go get him.
Todd Barrett telling his driver, go get that 28.
Now, I'll tell you another reason why that pass was important for Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon has locked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps today.
18 to go. Hit your mark. Go get the 28.
That's Bobby Jeffries, Jarrett's spotter. If they finish like they are now, there's a 5-point difference between 2nd and 3rd. So that would neutralize out Gordon's extra 5 bonus points.
There's that accordion effect I was talking about.
That's exactly what you talked about at the very top of the show. And Robbie Gordon comes up the back end of the accordion, can't stop, bumps to 66, around he goes.
Up front of you, keep coming, come low. Back, come on, yeah, outside. Keep coming. Inside, come on up, come on.
And that really scrambled up.
And Nadeau's going to try to come down. Spencer's going to try to drive it in there.
Contact. Nadeau spins into the outside wall. Caution's out.
Man, you can see that coming from a mile away.
You sure could, Benny. That was... why we had the cameras on it.
Jerry Nadeau into the outside wall, racing for 5th position with Jimmy Spencer. And the yellow is out for the 10th time in this race.
And Jerry Nadeau has his car rolling. I'm sure that NASCAR is glad to see that, because this race now, I don't think will end under this caution flag. There may be another one, but this will not end the race.
Yeah. 9 laps to go. Important because it'll be a single file restart when we go back at it. Here's a look.
I mean, you knew that Spencer was going to drive it in very deep going in 3. You knew that Nadeau was going to come down to try to block the position. You just knew that was going to happen.
Back wheels right up off the ground when he hit. So who's at fault?
Well, you know, the 25 was coming down, and Jimmy could have cracked the throttle and avoided that. But, you know, you're 10 laps to go, 11 laps to go, driving for a position. So, I mean, how can you blame him for going for the position either?
Back for the finish of the New England 300 in a minute. Don't go away.